Me too.
You got yours? Okay.
Ooh,
1,
ooh.
2, 3, record.
That was very motherly.
Oh, wait, what was?
Are you recording?
Oh,
Yes,
you
Mummy.
record? That's more British, isn't it?
Is it all working well? I think so, Mummy. Excellent.
Is
No need to worry.
Is that the first time you're using the restroom by yourself? Is it all working?
Is it all working?
If you're
What is that in reference to?
Don't-
The toilet or
that's the bathroom. If you're shaking it too much, you're not using the restroom. You're doing something else. I forgot what the saying was.
there's a song that's
Shake it more than twice and something.
playing with yourself again.
What is up, guys, and welcome to the VisualWood podcast, episode number 34.
34.
34, dude. It has been 34 pods.
When I think of a 34-year-old man, I think of, is it bad that my immediate impression isn't some healthy, successful dude working at a big company or something, but like a grizzled, sullen-eyed dude that hasn't shaved in a long time and is now sort of scared that the prime of his life is swept beneath his feet without him looking.
Wow. Slightly depressing. I'm pretty sure a lot of people... Oh, man, we're going to depress a lot of people early on in the podcast, dude. Come on now.
Well, we actually, for people that don't know, we have a quota for that. We have on our show notes, depress everyone, written in all caps. We just quickly amend that there. And if we don't do it, basically, we consider it to be a bad podcast.
As he writes it in right now into the show notes.
Dude, Google Docs is so cool. It's awesome seeing other people type in real time.
I'm actually transferring all my stuff. Well, I haven't done it yet because I've been busy with all this Guild Wars 2 stuff. But transferring all my books, because I usually write down all my ideas. Mm-hmm. And now I'm like, man, maybe I should just use Google Docs and I'll just have it there all the time. And it's automatically saved. It's not like I can lose it, right? It's not just writing a bunch of docs and then saving it to your computer and then your computer just crashes the other day. No, it's saved onto Google Docs and I can pull it up at any time. And of course, I can send it to people if, I need to do a collab or anything like that. So
when I was doing that world building stuff, everyone was talking about different software that worked. Google Docs came up all the time, which is what I ended up using. But there's this other one called OneNote or something, and it does all of that, but it also syncs a hard copy on your computer too. So if you are in a place with no internet, you still have a copy, and if you're in a place with internet and maybe not on your regular computer, again, you still have a copy, and it's actually pretty cool. I think Google Docs might have the same kind of sync thing going on too. But the more you know.
The more you know. Well, guys, man, it's mostly we've been doing Guild Wars 2. That's all we mostly. I that's what I do. Basically, my whole morning and afternoon is all Guild Wars 2. And then the wife comes home, and then other things happen. Well, that sounded weird.
Other things?
I mean, I'm playing Rayman Origins. No, I beat Rayman Origins. I'm playing Rayman Legends with her now. And let me just say, if you love platform games, you have to play Rayman Legends. It's pretty expensive right now, and I haven't gone through the whole thing, so I don't know if I should tell you, it's worth the $40 price tag. But, man, that game is amazing.
Here's my question, though, all right?
Mm-hmm.
What's its hallmark? What is it that it does? I get the character, and there's doesn't he have a little guitar or something?
What character?
No, in the early Rayman himself. What is the hallmark of this series? Why is it any better than any other side scrolling? But why is it better than new Super Mario series?
I don't. You're talking about the old ones?
Or the or Donkey Kong side-scrolling games that have been coming out recently. What makes it different?
I think the world design, the way it's set up,
do you get pickups and certain progression things in it?
It's just good level design.
Okay,
that's pretty much it. Really, really good level design. I mean, very challenging too. Rayman Legends is way more challenging than Origins. The co-op feeling is one of the best I've played in a while.
Well, you were saying you'd basically no life Guild Wars 2 this week, so how long did you spend on this and then still
not much, and that's probably why I forgot all the names already. It's because I've been all the Guild Wars 2 pushed out all the names from Rayman.
That's how memories work.
Yeah. Yep.
Looking for
That's
Roscoe's.
exactly how memories work.
You shouldn't go to school like after a certain point. You shouldn't keep trying to learn. This is why school ends when you're like 18 or so, because it just pushes everything else out.
Exactly. Exactly.
Best sit there and not like rot in what you already know. It's perfect.
Amazing. All right. So, what have you been doing?
Oh, don't ask me that. Okay, here's what I've been doing. I've been playing Guild Wars 2.
Amazing.
That's it, pretty much. If you want specifics, if people want to know specifically what I've been doing a lot of dungeon running in the game. And I've been Zerg. So you know Edge of the Mists?
Yeah.
I was so sad to... Do you know what that map is now? It's like... You know how Frostgorge... So the patch came out. Woo! Oh, I guess we've got a lot to talk about on that. One of the things that got nerfed with the patch was the Frostgorge sound champ train. And basically everyone's just migrated to Edge of the Mist now. And it's great as a train, but it's like, wow, this is not World vs. World. This is just like a horrible kind of Zerg around, follow the commander, get shouted at if you try and fight other enemy players, be ridiculed for not being on a comm tag, and it's just like a all PV door basically, and then Zerg down a champion. It's like, it's so sad to see, but it's worth a lot and it's quite profitable, so that's what I've been doing mostly in game. And I don't know, you know you have some times like in your life where you're like, I've hit a pretty low point. Yeah, I think this might be one of those low points for me, because like we're setting up this VisualWood and I'm like, all right, what have I done? And it's like, I haven't done anything. I haven't watched any movies for like 3 weeks. I'm watching barely anything like TV wise. I've barely left the house. It's terrible. Like, this is one of those moments where I'm like, okay, Guild Wars 2 and only Guild Wars 2.
So yeah. What you're saying is that you need to stop Guild Wars 2 or your health.
What I'm saying is I'm fully dedicated to the game and my job.
Your job. Oh, so YouTube is officially your job.
Yeah, I would sort of consider it my job. Yeah, I would.
Oh, there you go. There you go, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies, no, not gentlemen, just the ladies.
Ladies.
That'll interest them.
Right. Oh my gosh, it's so hot. He just sits in that little hot box and plays Guild Wars 2 all day.
Tell everyone what you imagine my room to be like.
Basically, the way you made it sound is that if you guys ever watch those little 80s and 90s movies where you see that little kid looking through the window while looking at all the little kids downstairs, not downstairs, in the street playing.
With like their hockey or basketball,
and he has like a little window. It's like a circle window, and he's just looking out. It's like, oh, I want to go outside and play, and he can't because he's too afraid, or
or I'm grounded.
Yeah, or you grounded or anything like that. Yeah.
Or I have an overprotective evil mother who never lets me see the other children.
And then there's food and gum all over the floor. And wrappings. Yep.
There is, okay, I do have one chocolate wrapper near me. Do you have double deckers in the States?
That sounds familiar. What is it?
Double decker. I really wouldn't. Okay, it's their own description of it is that it's soft on top with a crispy bottom, and that really doesn't describe it very well. It's like a chocolate bar with nougat in it, and
yeah, we have something like that, but it's not something you'll get like regularly from like a gas station or anything like that, or the corner store.
This thing had 250 calories when I ate it. Is that like
jeez?
Really bad?
Oh my gosh. That's a lot, dude. That's a lot for one meal for no type of like vitamins.
Meal. This is a chocolate bar, bro.
Right. Exactly.
I had this like with an Easter egg. Oh yeah, that's going on as well. It's Easter coming up. Have you had any eggs?
No. I can't eat any of that stuff, man. Shoot.
Oh, I should send you Easter eggs and like taunt you. Oh, that'd be so good.
Why don't you come over here, and we can hang out. How about that?
But that's only if you eat Easter eggs. Do you have Cadbury cream eggs?
Yeah, we do.
You do? Okay, I thought they were a British only thing for a while. Anyway, so yeah, that's also going on in my life and everyone else's. Easter is coming up. And so I'm eating like some more chocolate than I usually would be. Even though it's not even Easter Sunday right now, because we're recording on Saturday. But yeah. Oh, but this was going to go up on Easter. Do you want to... I mean, you're like the more religious one. Do you want to...
More religious one, right. Happy Easter! Oh, should we bow?
Is that like the thing? Yeah, should
bow
we
our
have
heads and pray?
Okay, to the Easter Bunny.
Oh gosh, like I know like half of our viewers was like, you know what, Matt? No, No.
Last straw.
No, last
I'm
straw.
out.
I'm gone. I'm gone. How dare you? Yeah. Anyways, let's not talk about religion on this thing. I have an interesting story.
You have stuff going on, right?
I have an interesting story. So I was talking about Super Bunny Hop last podcast, right? Right. Same guy. He was on the Q&A. The Total Biscuit Q&A with me. He was also on the Co-optional podcast. Yes. We wanted to hook up and say what's up, and I just went to the store, the Publix, right? Publix is right down the street from my house, right? Man, I get really personal on this podcast, don't I?
Oh, well, you know what we didn't do? We said last podcast we were going to record the people at our local shops.
Oh, no, I haven't done that. Yeah,
dude, I'm setting myself an alarm. I promise everyone, next podcast you will hear my shopkeeper.
Oh, gosh, I can't wait.
I care about this a lot more than anyone listening does. I don't think there was a single comment about it, but I want to do it, so I'm going to do it.
Okay, so I went to Publix, and all of a sudden I run right into him, like straight up. Like I wasn't even like I didn't schedule that I was going to the place or anything like that. It's gonna be weird if he's listening to this podcast, isn't it?
Is he though?
Yeah, he's like, oh my gosh, this guy's a little weird.
So you thought he had really bad breath, right?
Yeah, So we met. He was like, oh, what's up? And then he just invited me over for drinks, beer, and pizza. And I was like, oh snap, okay, yeah, sure. Just like that. He happened to be having a party, or not party, but like get together, to play some games and watch The Thing. So that is my movie for this week. Is The Thing. You're
carrying the movie section of the podcast on your shoulders righteously right now. So
right.
How was The Thing?
It was very interesting. Very interesting. I gotta say, I don't want to spend too long on it. The dog in The Thing was probably one of the greatest actors I've ever seen. Greatest actor, dude. Man.
Can you call an animal an actor? Are they technically actors, or are they just props?
Oh, wow. Animals are people too, Winning Potatoes.
Animals are people too. Oh, amazing.
I actually don't like people when people say that, like, oh, they treat their dog like a human. I'm like, no, it's not a human. It is a dog. Treat it as such, or the dog will run you. I guess it depends on what dog you have. Some dogs don't really care, and they listen to you regardless of what you do. But man, I had a German Shepherd, and if you sugar up to that dog that's smart, man, they will run you, dude. They'll start pooping and pissing, and oh my gosh, whatever.
I don't think it's quite that bad, but yeah, you do need to.
You need to put your foot down. You need to put your foot down with a dog, not on top of the dog.
Oh,
it was just a figuratively
why
speaking.
is it that saying about kicking a dog while it's down?
Yeah.
Why is it always kicking? Like, do people this paints this picture that years ago kicking a dog was a really commonplace thing to do. Did I tell you about a film I watched called Dinosaur? This was a while ago.
No, Dinosaur.
I think I might.
What about The Land Before Time?
No, in this film called Dinosaur, featured like the main character in it. It's like a really gritty, like pretty low budget British film, and the start of this film features this guy that just gets drunk and is a complete no life and has all these issues, and he just like beats his dog to death in the opening sequence of the film.
Whoa.
It's like brutal to watch. It's horrible. And so you think about all the it's just been common practice kicking mutts, I guess. Like, oh, horrible thought. Sorry, go on, talk about The Thing. Didn't want to talk about animal brutality.
Well, yeah, it was a good movie. It was, back in the days. I gotta say, a lot of the guys there were like, man, I miss this. I miss the non-CGI stuff. And I gotta say, a lot of that stuff in there, like when they're showing the monsters, I just don't know how they did it. Who creates this stuff, these props that look so real? It looks real. Like, obviously, like, it's kind of like robotic, almost.
Mm-hmm.
But the way it's done it's so nasty. Is that like Jello and all this type of like foods put into there to make it look so disgusting? It's so weird, dude. And all of that was props. All of that, no CGI. I thought it looked amazing for what it was.
Now, the Thing is a classic, but here's my movie ignorance showing. I really have no understanding of what that film's about. Give me a basic plot summary of it.
Basically, at the very beginning scene, you see a alien ship land. An alien ship, well, not land, but go to Earth. Apparently, it landed in Antarctica, and a very snowy place, and all these scientists are around, and this thing is going around attaching itself to people.
I see what you did there.
Attaching itself to anything that's like living and mutating it. And each monster, everything that it mutates is a different type of mutation, right? And it would imitate what it is. So if it would capture an animal, it would imitate the animal. If it will capture a human, it would imitate the human perfectly. And at least it got better at it during the film. And people will try to figure out. So they'll be like, "Oh, who is the thing? Who is the thing? You know, who has it mutated and stuff like that." So there you go. Like,
well, what's the negative effects to it? Imitating you.
They turn into these. You're gone. You're pretty much dead.
So it just kills you and replaces you, and nobody knows you're gone.
Yeah, no one knows. And then when they finally like come out, like you know that they're the thing, they mutate into this nasty crap. Like just like each one is different. And one time, like this guy's head split apart and became like one of those things from Mario. Don't you know those little fire plants?
A flower plant?
Yeah, his head became that. It's ridiculous.
Wow.
Yeah, with teeth and everything. It was pretty ridiculous. Anyways, that is the thing. If you want to watch an old horror movie that's pretty good, go ahead and watch that. And man, it won't give you nightmares unless that.
Now you were watching this in a stranger's house with strangers' friends around you.
Yes.
Was there a moment where you were scared by the film and you jumped up and going, "Oh my god," and looked away and embarrassed yourself?
No.
In front of these strangers.
I watched a lot of scary movies back in the day. I don't really watch them anymore, but I watched a lot of scary movies back in the day. And I don't know. I think I freaked myself out so much that things don't bother me anymore. It's more of the complicated scary scenes is mostly what gets me scary, not like the jump scares or anything like that.
Did you at all suspect that your new friend, who had randomly invited you to his house at the shops, had perhaps been infected by a thing himself, and in some cruel, twisted game he was playing with you, was now intending to kill you after making you watch the thing, which turned out to be a true story? Because isn't it kind of suspect that he just was so friendly and just happened to be having a party? What if it was a trap?
Well, the pizza was so good that I think I would die happy.
Interesting.
Interesting, right? Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, he had a lot of dough left, so we just made a bunch of pizzas. And
I assume this
shouldn't
was
be
like
eating
full
pizza,
fat pizza.
but I had to grab a couple slices. I had a salad with it. That makes it better. Yeah. Anyway.
That's true, right? I had salad with my lasagna the other day, and
no, it does not make it better.
But what about the vitamins?
The vitamins? No, the vitamins don't matter.
But okay, sure. But I used salad cream instead of mayonnaise. Surely that's better. It was right.
Oh my gosh. You're tis. So, the last thing, ESO duping. What is this about?
Oh, okay. So this is like a general gaming topic. Okay. Found out about Elder Scrolls Online. Pretty crazy. I'm sure there's people a lot more knowledgeable about it than I am. But I wanted to tell you and decided to wait until we were doing the podcast. Apparently, in that game, it's been there since alphas, right? People have constantly been telling ZeniMax, look, this is a serious issue. Please fix this. Please fix this. Betas, please, look, it's still an issue. ZeniMax, listen to us, please. And they never did. Launch came around, and there's a really basic, really easy bug you can do in the game that dupes items. And you know how serious this is in any MMO. Destroys the economy, right? And the funny thing is, it was found, always had been known about. Launch came around, lo and behold, people started doing it. Slowly the secret got out, expanded to everyone. Every man and their dog knows how to do it, and ZeniMax hasn't patched it. And as far as I'm aware, it is still the same right now. Days and days, weeks have gone by, and they're just letting people permanently dupe stuff. All the highest endgame legendary stuff in the game, all the ridiculous OP things, it's just flooded. It's everywhere. Everything about items and economy in that game is completely broken. And I shouldn't sound so excited about it. It's a shame to see any MMO go so bad. But they're like in a really bad situation now. It's been so long. What do they do? What does ZeniMax do at this point? Roll back to like basically launch day again? Do they ban everyone's account, which happens to be pretty much everyone playing the entire game?
Are they dumb? Like, why would you ruin your game like that? People will quit your game. You have a subscription fee. This is not Guild Wars 2. People will quit your game and not up. Like, what are they doing? I remember a similar situation happened in I put that link at the wrong place. That's supposed to be near the new finisher, by the way.
Oh, okay, all right. I thought this was related to the ESO thing.
Yeah. Well, you could pop it up anyway. You guys will hear about it next time. Like that similar thing happened in MapleStory, where basically there was this day where the game totally broke. People were resetting the server to dupe items, like crashing the server to dupe items, like. It went on all weekend. The game was literally unplayable, and the economy just got destroyed. Like the highest, best items ever. Crazy being sold.
I was hearing about all these crazy stories. One of them that someone was talking about on Reddit was like, I believe Dark Age of Camelot. At one point, it was found you could kill certain low-level trash mobs, and every 3 times they died or something, it would give you like an ultra-rich, amazing endgame item. Everyone did it, and only for like a day it was patched the next day, and still regardless, the economy was broken for years afterwards that completely devalued the stuff.
Wow.
It's unbelievable. And now think about ESO.
Phantasy Star Online did it as well. This is a new MMO. They should have been on top of this stuff. I mean, they really should have been on top of this stuff. I feel really sad for that. People tell me, like, I know some of you have bought it. Let me know how you've been liking it. Like, I've watched a review from Elder Geek, and he seemed to like it. Him and his friends, and so I was like, okay, maybe it's being good. And then you tell me this, I'm like, I don't want to buy it. I don't want to even try it out now.
I was reading a lot of stuff about why some people have negative impressions of the game and some people have very positive. I don't know whether you know this, but for the sake of everyone else, I'll just sort of go over what kind of happened with them. Originally, they had, when you started the game, there were all these different starter zones, and you would do all your tutorial stuff there, and there was story associated with it. Voice-acted characters that went along with all of that stuff, and it was all in place. However, for whatever reason, I believe it was because people were saying the game was boring or it wasn't quite fixed or whatever. Just before launch, they allowed themselves like 2 weeks to do it, maybe even less time than that. They cut out all of that starting zone stuff and made it all one universal starting zone. You're aware of that, Matt? You played the... Okay, so it's all one universal thing now, but you have the option to go back and do that old stuff. But the problem is, because they changed the way you begin the game so heavily, all these new voice actors had to be hired in to pick up new lines on characters that had already been voiced. So at the beginning of the game, all the story stuff and all the quests feel broken and clunky. Like, they refer to events that have never happened with your characters or events that will happen. You could get stuck for a while in certain places.
Wow.
And then just one NPC will have multiple voices, and one of them's quite good and one of them's really bad. And so early game, ESO can really turn people off. But apparently, if you get through all that stuff and go really later on into the game, everything becomes a lot more consistent and smooth, because that was sort of how it was all originally meant to be designed. But from a lot of what I've heard of it through the grapevine, it sounds like it's had a rocky launch, which I think most MMOs, don't you agree? Like,
yeah, absolutely.
How can an MMO have a smooth launch? Everyone's going to find something wrong, you know, they're so complicated. But hopefully it can recover, I guess. I'm certainly not interested in playing it, though, until... I'll stick with the Elder Scrolls main series games and wait for the Elder Scrolls 6, I guess it will be, and leave it there.
Yeah, I think I'll stick to the single-player experiences, definitely. The only MMO...
High five.
Yep, high five through the mic. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, what, did you hit the mic?
Yeah, I actually hit the mic.
If you fake a high five, you've got to slap yourself, like, in the forehead. It sounds like a high five, you see? Yeah, see?
There we go.
That'll be really crisp and good.
Yeah.
Now all you got to do is cut this little bit out where we're talking about it, and then everyone will be like, whoa, they record the podcast sat next to each other? We're like one of those desks. We're like on a radio show. You know how everyone looks across at their guests?
Right,
and like,
right, exactly.
Welcome to KFM. Who are you? Oh, well, I blow bubbles for a living. I do all these cool tricks.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. We should totally do that, dude. Come over here to Georgia. Let's get acquainted. Don't do the awkward silence. Oh my god, people are gonna be like, "Hold up, did something happen to my podcast?" Oh, I hate when that happens.
So
I've been listening to this new podcast about business and stuff, and the guy's just like,
about business.
Yeah. It's about business and stuff, and I've been learning quite a bit about it.
Why you listen to that?
I don't know. It's weird, right? But I wanna do more. I want to do more than what I'm doing. So I kind of want to, listen to what people have to say of how starting your own business work and stuff like that.
In a few podcasts, are you going to be asking for people to invest in your...
No, not something like that. No. No, not like that. Anyways, it's called Sean W.S. Podcast. That is the podcast I'm talking about. But yeah, if they listen to it, then they'll understand what I'm saying. It's just about
what
business
they have
and stuff.
long awkward silences.
Yeah, they're very like, yeah. So how you been? Like the radio voice type thing. Like, so how was your week, man? Like, and they're like, well, like very pauses between conversations. Like, hey, yeah. So Guild Wars 2. So have you been playing that? Yeah, man. Yeah, it's been pretty good. A lot of good features coming out. Like, that's the very monotone voices, and sometimes they laugh, but
that sounds
it's very
weird.
Yeah, it's weird at first, but then I kind of enjoyed it also as well. And I just like to expand my knowledge on stuff. It's not gonna be used for like YouTube or anything like that, but like just expand my knowledge on the whole business front and seeing how that works. Because I'm always interested to see like how the Yogscast developed into what they did. Like, you remember, like, Yogscast was just one of those YouTubers that just blew up on Minecraft, and now they have this network of ridiculous, tower of YouTubers that they have. They have their own offices.
Hanging out with real celebrities that you see on TV and
it's
big comedians and stuff.
It's pretty ridiculous. But yeah. What is the next one? Is it Guild Wars 2 time?
Well, what about the one that you've got on the top of the list for the topics? Did you want to talk to people about what you were doing there?
Oh, yeah. I started streaming this week, and then it's been pretty good. If you haven't seen that yet, go ahead and check me out.
The happiest I have ever seen Matt Visual was on his stream the other day, running around in South Sun Isle with about a bazillion commanders, doing random events in the game. And listening to Frozen songs. Anyone who was watching that stream, there were so many people being like, "Oh, I wish WP could hear this song," and I was like, sat back, like, "Yeah, I'm listening. I'm enjoying it." And then you played the Milan song, "Be a Man." Oh my god, it was wonderful time of my life.
Great. I'm glad you enjoyed it. You should have joined me, like I was texting you on freaking Skype.
You said you said something like,
"Get your butt on here."
Yeah. Although I think you actually swore as well, which was pretty interesing.
What? Oh, please don't.
Wow,
dude, I said get your ass on here. I didn't actually. The ass is a donkey, dude.
ASS. Oh, you wanted me to put a donkey on Skype?
Yes, that's exactly.
Do a soundboard of donkey noises. I've actually got a friend who rears donkeys. Donkey rearing.
Really?
Donkey rearer Dave. Yeah.
When you say, I don't know anything about donkey rearing, but just from the name, it sounds like he's rearing a donkey. Is that what it is?
Yeah. So he gets little donkey babies. And that's what donkey babies are. They're not like calves or anything. They're babies. And he's got like a little barn. Well, it's not really a barn. It's more like his basement. And he's got a lot of straw in there. He grows them until they get too big. Puts them out in the back garden. And then sells them on. It's pretty good. Purebred donkeys.
I feel I'm starting to feel like you live in the country.
I wish. I would love to live out in the country. No, I live in like a concrete wasteland full of attached houses and masonettes that were poorly built in the 60s and now are slowly being destroyed.
You live in the attic, right?
No, the entrance to the attic. Do you know? I should do a floor plan of my place. Oh, dude, do what I did for you. Do what you imagine my floor plan to be.
Well, you never told me about your house, though. All right, when we get off the podcast, you tell me about your house, and I'll try to draw up something, and then we can talk about it on the podcast. All right, the new finisher. Have you seen this? I put a link there.
Did see
That's
this,
the link that we were talking about like a few minutes before. So professional. Click that link. Oh, you did see it.
Yeah, I've seen this. I have seen this.
So there's a new finisher. If you guys don't know, you probably have seen it because I liked it on my YouTube channel. But it's basically a goat comes down and you see the Super Adventure Box music pops up. Like you see like a sunburst effect behind the goat, and he like dances around and he goes "Arr!" and then he runs away. It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. So Super Adventure Box Goat Simulator finisher.
Oh, I see. So that's why it's okay. All right.
No. I'm guessing the name. That's not. I don't know if that's the name.
It looks like they had a lot of fun. It's a llama. It's not a goat.
Oh, it's a llama. Well, there you go. Yeah. A llama. It's a llama.
Well, I know a llama Rira Lucy.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
it's actually quite accurate. Yeah. Like even if it wasn't in the title, I would have been able to have told you this was a llama because of the shape of its tail.
Well, you know, I'm thinking of Goat Simulator, and I see a goat-looking thing. There it is. There it is. Yeah.
Do you think that this means that SAB's coming back?
It has to be coming back, man.
I was having a big talk with some friends about SAB the other day.
Yeah.
And it seems that apparently not too long ago on the forums, people were talking about it too, and the developers were saying, "Hey, yeah, we haven't really even started on it. What would you like to see?" And that's sad for me. Yeah, it could have been a while ago that forum thread was going on. I'm only just hearing about it, but I think it was like after Christmas kind of thing. Apparently, they may not have been working on it at all.
No.
Don't you think SAB would be a great little patch now to tide people over?
Yes.
Till season 2.
Absolutely. Well,
yeah.
I guess we have to wait until Tuesday this week.
Do you think they'll release a bunch of information on Tuesday about what's coming up?
Yeah, I think so. I think they might release at least a little teaser. I would hope Tuesday is the day that everyone kind of looks out to see if there's any news coming out. So I would hope.
Yeah, we had a couple of weeks with nothing going on Tuesday, I guess, because of the big feature patch. But yeah, SAB would be so good now. It would be like, yeah, SAB's coming, and then season 2. I can't imagine that season 2 of Living World would begin so quickly. Like next Tuesday, they'll be like, oh, right, season 2 begins, and then flood into it. I'm expecting a bit more of a break for some reason, maybe another month of waiting. I kind of want to wait more just so that they get really good. Like, let's be honest, some people got sort of into the story and then fell back out of the story and aren't interested in it again.
I'm one of them.
Yeah, like, and a lot of people are in that boat, and I really want them to have a big explosive start, but they keep doing stuff, you know. It's like the Lion's Arch stuff was supposed to be a big explosive end, and we had it, and now it's gone, and now I sort of feel like, well, what did that do, you know? I don't know. I feel like I just want them to really not take their time, but put a lot into the next release, and if that means it costs them more time, then fine. I'll wait a little bit longer, and SAB in the meantime would be great. Don't forget also, we got the World vs. World season is sort of tiding us over. What would you think about season 2 of Living World beginning when the World vs. World season ends? Or tournament?
That would be quite interesting. That'd be... Yeah. I have to agree. I want them to spend more time on it because I want it to be good. Like, and they usually start off strong like they did last time, and then the patch after it is kind of mellow. And people get disinterested again. Like, they really have to be consistent. Yeah, it's better, you know. It's hard to just say, okay, be better at the game, you know, be better at making better content. But I think if at least they have permanent content with these new patches, you know, for those people
new map.
Yeah, like a new map. Oh my gosh, people would love that. Absolutely love that. Like, the new map has a lot to do with the dragon. Or, you know, you'll see the dragon fly across, you know, every day or something like that. I don't know. Like, they could do really interesting stuff. But a new map, because people already got back into the game just because of this feature patch. A lot of people have quit the game, come back to try this new feature patch. But let's be honest here. For the people who left for content, they're not going to stay. They're not going to stay just because of, you know, like the feature patch. Even though I gotta say, I'm way more invested into the game than I was previously because of the feature patch. So maybe I could be totally wrong, but I think for people who are just only for content, they're probably gonna be like, okay, they like what the changes they have done, but they're probably gonna be like, I'll go play another game until like the new story comes out, which is kind of what Guild Wars 2 wants anyway, right? The people that keep consistently coming back each time the patch comes out, and it's more about
There's definitely people out there who are saying, all right, feature patch. I've seen it on my own videos. I've seen it on other people's videos where they say, what is this? This is no content and this is rubbish. There's nothing been added to this game since launch, and leave. I really think that the argument that nothing's been added to the game since launch is getting thinner and thinner and thinner, because even though there is a lot of temporary stuff, obviously, often there is residual stuff that's left over as well. And, like, so when Fractals came out, we also got South Sun, and that's still a map. Like, I think the arguments are getting thinner, but there are still so many people out there who this isn't enough for, and for them, it's going to be looking at Season 2 of Living World again, and whether that was enough for them or not. Like, here's a weird idea. Do you think there are players out there who are really happy with Living World releases, but not happy with this release?
I think there's many different players out there, so I'm gonna say yes. But I find that weird. But I won't be happy. I feel like the Living World has a lot to do with, like, I don't know, like people who just log in for that one bit and log back out and go. Yeah, and then this patch is more like, oh wow, there's a bunch of skins. Like, I think they might be around the same crowd. I don't know, but yeah, there's lots of different people who play Guild Wars 2 for different reasons. Some people play solely because their friends play it, and once their friends quit, they will quit. And I've heard a lot of that as well. But yeah,
Here's another thought as well. ESO's come out now. Maybe had a little bit of a bad situation there. How do you think? Do you feel like Guild Wars 2's lost players because of it? I mean, we've talked about this before, and you've always said you didn't think that ESO would take from it, right?
No, I don't think so. I think the people who have left that was looking for something else will probably be going to WildStar, not ESO. I think, yeah, sure. I'm pretty sure there's a player, one or two out there that are playing ESO right now that used to play Guild Wars 2, of course. But I don't think it had a big like strike on Guild Wars 2 because of ESO.
Because they're so different.
Yeah, they're different games. The ESO is like, the combat is, I don't know. I don't like the combat. It's such a different game. It's such a different game. It's the same thing. I think of ESO. I think I've said this before. I think of ESO as Star Wars: The Old Republic, where I really, really enjoy the story. I enjoy the questing. I enjoy leveling up, but I don't enjoy the combat. And it's the same thing. No, actually, I enjoyed the combat more in SWTOR than I did in ESO. I don't like the combat.
Even with the "get over here" thing?
Yeah, that one is really cool. But see, that's only a certain class. At least I enjoyed different types of combat when it comes down to SWTOR. But geez.
See, SWTOR's weird as well. We spend most of our time, or at least I know I do, talking about, and on some level, trying to make people realise that there's been a lot of positive changes to Guild Wars 2 and make them reconsider it, right? But I wonder, there's got to be some of that for SWTOR as well. I've actually heard a lot of great stuff about SWTOR and big updates that have been made to that game, like the ship combat and stuff that's all been added to the game. Like, it seems like it's fleshed out so much, and it's kind of weird for me because when I view SWTOR, it's like I'm on the other side of the looking glass to everyone I'm currently trying to outreach to for Guild Wars 2. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I wouldn't even consider for a second that SWTOR might have improved a whole bunch, but then every now and then you hear actually, and people are like, oh yeah, the game's awesome, I'll come back to it. And it's like, whoa, maybe I should have a look. And like, that's so rare for me. I quite enjoy that. Yeah, there's that perspective you can have.
I probably want to go back and play through the story again and finish it since it's free to play
right,
now.
Yeah. Like, think about how different Guild Wars 2 is to play again, 1 to 80 now. What about SWTOR? How different is that to play?
Oh, it's drastically different for Guild Wars 2 as well. The thing I want to mention, though, is Guild Wars 2. A lot of people complain about the updates, but are other MMOs the same as well? Like, are MMOs, do they have content updates every 2 weeks?
They don't, dude.
They don't.
They don't. I've never had anyone
I find that weird that people
convincingly
expect so much more. And I think it's because they don't have enough there. Guild Wars 2 doesn't have enough there for, like, when people hit 80. Well, at least for they do have enough, but that certain player that kind of has been conditioned to end game content. End game, like Specifically, this is what you do at level 80. This is, like, there's no progression there for those people. So I think because there isn't that there yet, like, because Guild Wars 2 is a different game. It's not about that. It's about, World v World and PvP, and then now there's the PvP tracks, and then now, you can run dungeons to get more money, to get more skins now. And it's more about, that type of progression, not a gear grind,
Yeah, I will say, I do want to, like, chime in here that I think, yes, there's obviously no big gear grinding Guild Wars 2, but I honestly don't think you can say there's no PvE endgame. Like, if you want to chase carrots on the stick, which is what I'm doing right now, do you know how much money it costs to go full ascended on everything and put all those little ascended infusions on every single piece of your gear? It's ridiculous. There's tons to do. And I really do think that for those exclusive level 80 people, when you look at all the fractals and properly get into dungeon running, there's content there now. At launch there wasn't, but I really do think now new people coming into the game will see a lot of stuff to do at 80, way beyond just crafting their first legendary or anything like that keeps them going. Like, it's there. It's just not. It's not as getting
it's
all
not
those
traditional either. This is not like any other game. I think most people who have stayed in Guild Wars 2 understand that this is a different game. If you get busy one week, you can come back and still work towards what you have been working for.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm starting to enjoy that a lot more than I did before. Like, I went hardcore. I haven't done like hardcore every single day for like hours and hours like I used to until like this week. Like, I was like, man, I really want to collect everything. I want to collect everything.
How's your collection going, by the way?
It's not going too good. Yeah, it's not going good because I did all the story dungeons, so I unlocked all the PvP tracks that I could with story mode. And I started messing with builds because you could change builds at any time. Yes. It's amazing to do that, man. So, like, I'm streaming, and I'm like, all right, guys, what are we going to do? We're going to do a Condi build. I'm just switching my stuff and switching, like, if I make a mistake, and I'm like, okay, no, maybe I should switch this trait out with this trait. And then we switch it out. Like, it's so streamlined now, and I love it. I love that that's the way it is. And I like that. I like making cool builds, and it may not be viable, and people might hate me, like...
Yeah, how much hate? I've got to ask, how much hate are you getting for the Condi Guardian thing?
I think the people who have been watching me are not looking for the crazy, mostly what you see now when people stream is like people who are extremely good at the game. They have their specs or whatever for PvP, whatever. Me, I'm trying to have fun with the game, and I feel like people like that. People like it's all about the fun you have in the game. Yeah, I like to beat people up in World v World when I'm roaming, but I think when you play, if you're having fun playing the game, it's a little bit more enjoyable. And then like, okay, I'm gonna go full berserker, and I better win. And oh man, I missed this, I missed that, or blah blah, I died. Oh man, it's just, I don't know, it's just negativity. I kind of like the positivity about the game. Many people, that's not for many people, but I kind of like to have fun, and of course, get better at the game at the same time, and that's kind of what I've been doing, changing, being able to use berserker gear and being able to dodge other things, do a lot of damage, and I'm kind of liking it. I think I might go for ascended armor now, just because of
account bound,
and I could probably go Zerker. This goes Zerker because I do PvE a lot. That's what I do. I like PvE. I do like World v World. So I might get power, toughness, vitality for World v World, and I'll work on for those two armors. That's probably what I'll start farming for this week or right now when I get off this podcast. But I think I might go for those two sets of armors, or at least Berserker armor, at least.
Oh, I really want to ask you about this as well. So talking about World vs World, I transferred to Blackgate the other day.
What?
So
You transfer to Blackgate and not turn... Well, I guess it doesn't matter anymore, does it?
Well, the most of the people I've been playing with lately are BG. And yes, for PvE's sake, it doesn't matter because of Mega Servers, which I guess we can talk about. But when I transferred, the game doesn't let you participate in regular World vs. World, only Edge of the Mist until the matchup is over because you've just turned your back on your own server or whatever. So I couldn't play. But Last matchup was Blackgate, which is the server I'm now on, versus Tarnished Coast, which you're on, and Jade Quarry. Now, there was did you participate in any of this? Because there was a very interesting situation where Jade Quarry and Tarnished Coast had a super official formal alliance where they never fought one another, never took each other's locations, and 2v1'd Blackgate to force them to lose a matchup in the tournament.
Oh,
did you experience any of that?
Snap! No. Wow.
Yeah. I've been huge.
I've been like mainly PvE lately. But wow, that is ridiculous.
And they really forced them out as hard as they possibly could. And Blackgate took their first loss of the tournament because of that. Because of this formal alliance where Zergs wouldn't fight. You know, you'd literally have 3 Zergs in an area and they wouldn't fight one another and just absolutely pile onto Blackgate. And Blackgate like holding on by the skin of their teeth the entire matchup, which was a week. Like, sounds so cool, right, dude?
A lot of people left Blackgate. So, and some of them went to Tarnished Coast, some of them spread out. So, they're probably like, oh, we're going to beat Blackgate. Oh, man, people must have been pissed.
Yeah, here's the thing, though. It's like, a lot of people were annoyed on Blackgate's side, but then there's also a lot of people... World vs. Worlders like to say that all the servers hate each other. Oh, all these guilds hate one another. I seriously doubt it's that personal. Maybe it is. And if it is that personal when you're one of these people that hates someone just because they're on a different server, maybe you need to take a step back from the game, would be my advice. But they're saying that there's so much hatred between all these groups, even though there's this alliance, it's like this shaky ground because they're like, I don't like teaming up with you, and it's unlikely the alliance will come again because there's so much drama that comes out of it. It sounds so cool. And then there's even people on like Tarnished Coast who are like a whole guild, I think, did this, who were like, why the hell are we on Tarnished Coast doing this? Like, Blackgate's getting way more bags and way more fights than us because they're getting double the fights. There's all these people we can't kill. Let's swap. And you get all these people, like, quitting their servers for different reasons. Tier 1 World vs. World. I'll have so much to talk about next week because I can finally participate in it, but it sounds crazy, right?
Wow. Yeah, I think I might jump on as well. There's a couple World v. World guilds that I have run with, so I'll jump on one of those and actually see what's going on. Man, that should be interesting. I can't wait to see you on the battlefield and kill you. Yeah,
well, you see, that's the thing. You probably we can have that situation. This is the one thing in Guild Wars 2 I cannot speak knowledgeably about. I really think. I'm a bit out of touch with PvP definitely now, but World vs. World, Tier 1 World vs. World stuff, particularly guild-based sides, I really have no understanding of or base of comparison. So I'm really curious to see how what that experience is going to be like. And kick your behind.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
So world bosses. So you've been running these? I haven't got a chance to run one.
Yeah, so feature patch, one of the things that came out, ArenaNet has their own website for this now. All of the bosses are on a specific unified time. So every 15 minutes now, there's a new world boss. And what this means is you don't have to... A lot of people complained, right, with this feature patch. They're like, oh, the mega servers ruin all of these third-party apps and timer sites and stuff. And it's like... maybe someone can explain this to me, but as far as I see it, why are people lamenting the death of these things when they were so complicated and infuriating and annoying to deal with? Oh god, do I go to do Olgoth right now, or Shatterer who's going to die first, and oh, I'm not looking at the right server. It's just annoying. Now, everything's unified. Every 15 minutes, you go to the next world boss. 15 minutes,
But they didn't even work properly, though. So what was the issue? Sometimes you'll go there and like, okay, this is the window that it's going to pop, and it wouldn't be popping. It wouldn't be there.
Yeah.
So like,
yeah, and it was so stupid.
I don't care. No, I want it to work. I don't care if it's on a third-party site or Guild Wars 2's official site. I want it to work, and it didn't work. The dragon timers never worked. Okay, so I'm sorry. Bye. I'd rather it work than have like some type, because there's no one dedicated to switching those times. Maybe there are, but for some reason they were never right for me. Every time I try to run the worm or the marionette and stuff like that, like they were just never right, and I was like, oh, forget it.
Well, I can say, every day I've done my full dungeon set, and then once you're done, you're like, right, okay, I've got all that. It's all like daily side stuff. So once you've done the dungeons once, you can't like keep no life grinding on that. You're forced to do something else, and this is why I really quite like Guild Wars 2's endgame, because like it's such a variety of things you're doing. And I've been trying a lot of different farms and weird things, and eventually I was like, right, the patch is out, I'll try the different world bosses. It's pretty cool. It's still just mindlessly zerging around, But the way that they've changed many of the events so that you have like a 15-minute timer, or, you know, you're waiting for the ship at Tater Covington to break down, makes it somehow so much more rewarding to do. And really that's all I have to say on it, that it's somehow gives you the gold you want, you get a lot of rares from it, and you just sort of get to sit about and chat with people and watch crazy zergs do stupid stuff and play with weird builds as well, like I was playing with healing power stuff and all kinds of things. The main reason this is on the list, I wanted to give it a bong as a bit of a PSA. Can I give you a link to put in the description?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys can find a link in the description, a link to literally just this really nice, easy list that shows you every single world boss that's up. Something interesting on that list, I don't know if you want to click and have a look for yourself, but it's got all them coming along, right? So here we've got Tater Covington, Jungle Worm, Mega Destroyer, Shadow Behemoth, TBD. To be declared. So they actually have a slot on this list for a new world boss that seems like it will be added to the game at some point. And you can see it there. There's now an open slot for another new world boss that will be getting brought into Guild Wars 2, perhaps at the start of Season 2 Living World. But pretty cool idea. Maybe some speculation to be done about what that might be. But yeah, to be declared. And people noticed that actually on the original post, and I just didn't know about it until now.
That's probably going to be for the Season 2. Open up really big.
Yeah. Yeah, a big new boss added to the game for Season 2. It would be quite nice.
Definitely.
Oh, that's a good segue. Have I talked to you about how Worm is now like ridiculous and easy and lame?
Really? What did they nerf?
So the crit damage change. Do you want to tell people what the crit damage change was, basically?
The crit damage was changed to ferocity, a stat, right? So, you know, for instance, in the Divinity Rune, now it's all stats, basically. So you'll get this much stat for each time that you know, the more stacks of the runes that you have. So because it's a stat now, and you get a 10% loss of crit damage, and that's the difference between the armor that you get now. So it's all a stat now.
And so it's meant to be like a nerf at level 80 stuff. But what they also did, and never talked about this before the patch came out, what they also did was made it so that crit damage doesn't scale so violently at lower level areas. And this means that you hit way more damage in early level stuff. All those early dungeons in the game are stupidly easy. You know, you were talking about like being able to swap builds constantly.
Yeah.
I watched a full glass Elementalist solo Ascalon Catacombs in about 10 minutes flat. A full explorable path entirely on their own, just by taking advantage of the new crit damage change and the fact scaling and the fact that he can change builds as he goes. And it was like a beauty to behold. It was such a cool video.
Hold up, you said story mode?
No, explorable. He soloed an explorable path in 10 minutes on a full glass character.
That makes a lot of sense, because when I was running story mode, it was like easy, like
yeah, right, so
easy.
Yeah,
there's a regular easy, and then there's like easy. Like basic, you didn't have to dodge or anything. You just burst everything down.
Well, they still do the same damage as before. This is what I found really interesting. Like in Cordicus's mana, for example, those things still nuke you hard if you don't have the right stuff up, but you melt them way quicker. Like it's for the first time ever. And I can't believe I'm about to say this, but for the first time in ever, if you're not like going elite hardcore speed clears and stuff, if you're doing really early level dungeons, you kill stuff so quickly. I was actually like, hey, I don't need this much damage. Maybe I could take a little bit of defense. And I know that's like almost blasphemy to say, but it's like ridiculous how quickly stuff dies. But it also still does tons of damage, and I think that's actually quite a nice little balance. Anyway, as a result of this, yes, dungeons are easier, but also world bosses are easier. Tequatl is included in this. Tequatl is a bit of a high level zone, right? So the scaling isn't like so off. But Triple Trouble Worm is in a level 50 zone. All the numbers were set to be perfect for how it was, right? At those old scaling values. The new values changed it completely. And it's very, very easy. It's really sad for me to see, dude. Like the people who play that content do it because it's hard, and like that's what's good about it. You know, the feature patch comes out and we're all thinking, oh, look at these runes and sigils I can play with, and which ones are going to be best for the worm. Let's get some new strats, figure out new kind of party comps that we can use. That's all exciting stuff, right? You can appreciate, but now they've nerfed it so easy. It's like, why would you bother with any of that? You just run it and kill it. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy every time. And I really think that the devs don't seem to care that they've done it either. That, like, now it's like, oh, okay, yeah, it's more casual content, but hey, a lot of people don't play it, so there you go. That's for them now. And it's like, what have we got? What this one
That's weird.
new cool thing that Guild Wars 2 had?
Because they named it Super Hardcore Bosses.
I know! What a joke! What a complete joke that someone would sit there and type that in on the blog post. Not that they would necessarily know that this had changed design-wise, but that these would be, the super hardcore bosses that they've also nerfed to the ground, or buffed, I suppose, depending on your perspective as a player. And now are just like these ridiculous... Here's my solution, right?
Right.
Another change that, and I want to like throw this out there because I think it's actually a pretty good solution. It came to my mind very quickly with like the issue at hand. If the issue is they don't want to make it harder again now because this easy content should be for the majority of the players, and we who sweated so much to make it work and figure it all out and had so much fun now get nothing for that. If they want to have it available to all, you know the new system where guilds can trigger these spawns whenever they want.
Yeah.
Those are guild missions, right? You can trigger a guild world boss whenever the hell you want. What do most guild missions have? Like guild treks, guild bounties. They have tiers. You can do a tier 1, which is supposed to be very easy for you to complete. You can do a tier 2, which is harder, or even a tier 3, which is really difficult. If the devs want Triple Trouble Worm to be easy and lame like this, and they've just done this with the guild system, could they please, this would be the best thing in my eyes, allow guilds to not just trigger the worm whenever they want, but trigger a certain tier of the worm. You can trigger a tier 1 worm, which is just the generic one that most people zerg around and do, or you can maybe trigger a tier 2 worm, and this makes it much harder, maybe akin to what it was before the patch. And as a reward for this, either you get a new exclusive item, a new title for it, for example, or better drop rates on the loot that comes from that boss. And then give us a tier 3 as well, which is like insane mega boss, super hardcore, very difficult, 1% of the community can complete, and, you know, the kind of thing that everyone's like, oh, finally we managed to kill the worm, you know, just like it was at World First. Add tiers, how simple is that? Like, all the pieces are in place, and I really hope that that's what they end up doing, and just allow people to trigger it to be harder if they like. And you could even expand that system now to the other world bosses. Think about, give me a world boss, any world boss.
Tequatl.
That's not Tequatl. Because he's already kind of
Worm, Shatterer,
okay, Shatterer, right? Think about the Shatterer. They could just now let guilds trigger a Shatterer whenever they want as well, and give him tiers. And look, they've just basically added another mega boss by tweaking numbers.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, by tweaking numbers, in theory, they could have done this. Now, I'm not an advocate for just number tweaking. I'd love to see new bosses added to the game and actual mechanics put in there and changes. But, you know, realistically speaking, this is something they can do to really please quite a sizable audience of their players. And even though it might be a small percentage of them, I think it's considerable, and it shouldn't be too hard to do. Anyway, I guess this has been my platform for ranting on that. I was going to do my own video, but there you go. And yeah, that's the changes to world boss scaling. And
I would like to see that, actually. I think that's a really good idea for the guild missions. Really, really good idea.
Thanks, man. Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Anyways, wardrobe! Wardrobe! Oh, okay, so this is what I was excited about when I was messing around a lot, and I actually asked the developer to send me a couple legendaries, and that's why you guys saw it in the video. So now you can have your like crazy legendary on any character you want, whether it's level 1 or level 80. So, you know, I have my Mesmer, like I created a Mesmer, and I have like my Sunrise on the Mesmer. And also, if you even have, the thing that sucks about the wardrobe is that you have to start all over, right? So all those gears that you have equipped, all those expensive skins that you've skinned over and destroyed because of the transmutation system, those are all gone. You're not going to get those. What's going to happen is everything that you equip now and that you have saved in your bank, you can either salvage them, equip them, or right-click them and say unlock skin to unlock the skin in your wardrobe. Each skin that you put on costs 1 charge, right? And if you guys logged on the same day, you got a free 5 charges in the gem store. I guess that's too late to mention. But all your transmutation stones and crystals will be transferred. If you double-click your transmutation stones, every stacks of 3 will be changed into 1 charge, and the crystals, every 1 that you click turns into 1 charge. So Yes, I was disappointed with that, but I really do like the fact that it's unlocked all the time. So it's really cool to be like, okay, I don't want this backpack anymore. I want this backpack, and I keep switching it. And I was thinking about it.
Dude, I do the same. I can't find a good backpack, and I swap it all the time.
So you see, we were just talking about this last time. How I will constantly change, and you will constantly be using the charge stones, and I guess that is, good for them because they get more money, right? And more content, right? I'm assuming that's the way the world works. More money means better stuff.
More money, Matt, means more problems.
More money, more problems.
You said that. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. But I gotta say I really enjoy that. That's the only fault that I feel about it. Like all these skins that I used to have, I don't have anymore. It kind of hurts me a little bit, but I don't mind. This gives me something to do. I'm probably going to be running all the dungeons to get all the tokens to buy all the armor that I used to have all over again, and unlock all those skins for each
all the
dungeon.
armor stuff.
Yes, for each dungeon.
What do you think about picking a category and trying to max it out? Like all weapons of a certain type. That
would be good too as well. I want to get Volcanus. I really want to get Volcanus.
You want to go for great swords then?
Yes, I like great swords. I was also thinking about going for legendaries now because of the account bound and being able to use the skin on any character. I'm actually thinking about going for a lot of legendaries and just get a legendary for each weapon.
For each guardian weapon?
Yeah. The guardian weapons first, of course, and then I'll branch out to the other stuff. Definitely.
Wow, so 13 legend. Well, no, hold on.
That's a long goal.
16 legendaries?
It's a long goal. So that means I'm going to have a certain time of the day where I farm or, do stuff specifically for money. And then, I'll have fun the rest of the day. Do World v World at the end of the day. Or some PvP.
Dude,
I need to learn
if you start
PvP.
dungeon running, you might find it really fun yourself. I'm having such a blast.
I had a blast doing it on stream. Had a blast. And I got a random group each time, and there was honor of the waves, right? Hear me out. Don't tell me I suck too early. Potatoes. But we died a couple times. We wiped a couple times in honor of the wave story mode, right?
You suck.
Right? And all of a sudden we changed a few things. I got reflective. I got the reflect wall, and a couple people changed up their builds. And then we breezed through it. And it was pretty fun. It was pretty fun to actually have that feeling again. And it's also cool that I'll be able to change. I keep going back to it. Yes, changing your stats, changing your traits very early on is amazing. Okay, you don't have to log out. You don't have to do any of that. You just go right there. You're like, okay, we'll switch this out. No, I want to do this. Now, I don't like the way this build is working. I think it was one of the best changes. I still stand by it. That's probably one of my favorite changes of this patch.
Yeah, it does change it a lot. It really does.
I love it. I love it. So,
my problem with it right now is I'm changing too quickly. I'm like, all right, I think this is a better DPS setup. Go for it. I'll do like 2 fights, and I'm like, no, I should change it again and do like 2 fights. No, change it. And I like never do it long enough to get a real solid basic comparison.
Oh no, I really like it, but also what's coming up with traits. I guess I'm skipping ahead on the track here, but I had to go with the good segue. Is we get 40 new traits. That means each like for instance, Guardian, Zeal, Radiance, Valor, Honor, and Virtues. All of that got a new Grandmaster trait, and that goes for each profession. So each tier and each profession gets a new trait. So, a new Grandmaster trait. And you can unlock this very easily just by going to a trainer and buying a book as well. So if you have 20 skill points and I think about 3 gold, I'm doing this by head, you'll be able to unlock your Grandmaster trait instead of doing the PvE stuff. So if you want it right away, you can actually just unlock it. But
yeah, it's 3 gold and 20 skill points, right?
Yeah. So in turn, I tried a condition build on my Guardian, because in Zeal, you get a 33% damage boost for your burning damage, and it's good. It's
You
good.
don't sound very confident in that.
It's good. Like I basically did an AOE burning build, right, with people on the stream, and it was pretty interesting doing this much damage to everyone around me. If they don't have Condi clear, it's pretty much devastating to them. But I don't think it's worth going full Condi damage in your armor as well. I feel like if you wanted to do an extra damage for burning, you could do it just by using any gear you wanted, right? And
because burning's base is so high.
Yeah, burning's base is so high. So I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it to go full Condi damage as a guardian. But I don't know. I haven't tried it enough.
That's wise what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't know if I tried it enough, but that's basically what I got from it. But I want to try it some more and see what happens. But what about you? What you been doing with your Ellie and NG and all that?
Nothing interesting really. I think I do want to do a video on my Ellie setup when I've got all my infusions on my ascended stuff, and I'm like, yo. And maybe when I get my minstrel as well, because then I'll have all of my legendary stuff. I'll have my one ascended dagger that I need for every possible combination. I'll be like, look, this is how you do Ellie. But I nothing really interesting that would blow people's minds build-wise, but I have been doing one kind of fun thing. The groups I run dungeons with, we're not like the best, right? And I, playing a really squishy Ellie, do go down quite a lot. And so one thing that is stupidly funny to play with is running like a traditional standard DPS staff build for dungeon running, but instead of taking one trait, you run a trait that makes you drop a lava font when you die and boosts your damage by 33% when you die. And so you're spamming lava fonts while you're alive, and if you go down, like a lot of the time you go down and instantly rally. Like if you're fighting trash, that's how it works. It's down, instant rally. And so you got like all these double lava fonts just ticking all over the place and DPSing really quite hard entirely from downstate. And that's kind of fun. That's something I've been playing about with. In the Aether Path, towards the end near the final boss, that's really easy now as well, it seems, even though the scaling shouldn't have changed it. Towards the end in the Aether Path, there's this bit where there's like all these holograms that you have to kill to blow up generators, and they're great for rallying. And so when I run this trait, I just like use my downscape 2 skill, Vapor Form, move next to one of them, come out of the Vapor Form, it drops a lava font, I instantly rally, and I'm like, yeah, get all this damage going. I'm sure it's not the most efficient thing to do, but because I do go down a lot anyway, it's kind of funny to play with every now and then. But you know, Ellie is sort of, a lot of it's very old hat to me now. I've been playing Thief a lot recently.
Oh, really?
And that's been pretty eye-opening. Like, damn, the kind of damage thieves do. Ugh. Man, they're so good. Oh, well, not in like world versus world scenarios or anything like that, but for PvE, thieves and dungeons is very interesting. Like, I have a much better understanding of where they sit damage-wise now than I did before.
Yeah, they do tons of damage. The thing I don't like about thieves is that they could just run away from you, and it just annoys the heck out of me. So many thieves that I've beaten in World v World, and they just run away, and I'm like, damn you. Damn you.
Yeah, they just break away so easy.
So easy. Yeah. It's retarded how easy. There's no way to catch them. Absolutely no way. Unless they built, like, you know, they don't have a short bow and they don't have any getaway skills. That's the only way you will kill them.
People used to hate Ellies and TPVP for that as well. When Dagger Ellie over there was king, it was literally because if you were ever fighting an Ellie, a good Ellie would never die because they would just ride the lightning away and maybe lightning flash. And it covered so much ground and it was on such a short cooldown, people could never catch you. And so there were these immense bruisers with good team support, fair amounts of CC and, you know, survivability. And if it was a 1v1 matchup, they just wouldn't die. They would just be like, oh, I've almost killed you. All right, bye. I'll go to another node. And they'd just be there very quickly. And that was one of the big reasons why Ride the Lightning got nerfed, which was sad.
I remember how long it was before. Oh, wow.
Yeah, man. It was so good. I love that skill. That's why I play Ellie.
Well, there you go. Mega servers. So now in Guild Wars 2, not to be confused with ESO, now in Guild Wars 2, they're rolling out mega servers. What happens with this is everyone is on the same map. All the boss timers, everything is the same, right? Like we were talking about before. Now, so for example, if you log into Queensdale, not right now because they don't have it for Queensdale, but if you log into Queensdale, everyone will be on the same map. All the servers on NA, right? It's not cross region. NA and
But there's
EU.
still multiple copies of Queensdale, though.
Yeah. Well, I haven't got into that. Why are you skipping ahead? Why are you skipping ahead?
Okay. Many
apologies.
apologies.
Once that map gets full, another copy is made. Now, well, I have to go with the basics first. All right.
There we go. No, it's good.
So what happens is. This takes your friends, your guildies, your language, all into account when they're picking a server for you. And it seems I haven't really tested out much. I haven't seen more. I tried out Queensdale, but I still didn't see a lot of people. I wonder if I just got put into like a low pop map or something like that. But I haven't got a chance to test it out yet. Have you?
Well, I've seen, like, for opening some of the like dungeons in the game, Mount Maelstrom is mega servered at the moment, and it's kind of interesting the way it's been working. Like, sometimes you'll see it's just instantly been pushed and you're like, yay. Sometimes you'll zone into a really weird place and you'll see other players there. But if it's closed and you want to, like, skip having to open it, it's really hard to, like, reset. Do you know what I mean? It's hard to, like, be like, okay, I'm in this instance. I want to go to another version of the map. You need, like, a friend who's already in there so you can right-click and join on them.
Right.
But I heard that, like, the algorithm's really broken. Have you seen anything to do with that?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, I've heard that, you know, I said I was doing lots of world bosses.
Oh, I did see a post of a lot of French people going with a lot of German people in the map. Like, they're getting mixed up with languages and stuff like that on the EU server. That it's, like, really bad on the EU server.
Yeah, this is that issue. They actually did a patch to resolve this specifically. Now in the game, there is a new option that is enabled by default. You know how you can have a different client-side language, so you can have... You know, you can have the English, which is normal, but you could also set it to be German, and then all the names of your skills will appear in German and stuff, yeah? Your client's language.
Yeah.
Now there's a feature in the game, so if I have a German client language setting on, I only ever see messages from other players in the game who also have the German client on. And so in this way, there's none of that cross-language stuff, and people never get messed up. It's like a new option they've added. You can turn it off if you like, and it's disabled for certain things, but that was like their fix for it. But yeah, the algorithms, which are really one of the core things about what mega servers are supposed to be, seem to be broken. If you're doing the world events, obviously... Those maps where that boss spawns. So right now, I'm on the website right now. Right now, Modnir Olgoth is up, right as I speak, this very second. And that means for you at home as well. I'm like telepathic. If you look right now, Modnir Olgoth is up while you listen to this podcast. Oh, you're driving to work? Sorry, maybe you should get an iPad and play it on there. Right, so Modnir Olgoth is up, right? Everyone loads into that map, Harathi, and obviously there's multiple copies of Harathi. If I've got, like, a couple of guildies that I'm trying to do it with, 9 times out of 10, I will never end up in the same version of Harathi as them, because the algorithms are just broke. It can rarely, if ever, match you up with your guildies, or even people in your party, friends list, stuff like that. It's just terrible. And there's a lot of people complaining and saying, oh, mega servers are kind of cool, but they're done really badly, and it's so hard to meet up with your friends on those maps without really having to try and single them out and right-click join on, and do it yourself, basically. So they clearly need to fix something about that. But otherwise...
They should add shards, man. They should add channels.
Just a list that you can click through.
Yeah, man. That would be amazing. But that would defeat the whole purpose of, like, the whole automated system where, oh, you get put into a map where a bunch of German people are at, you know?
Yeah, it's weird. I agree, like... It's one of those features I can totally see the quality of life it would give players, but I think I might have said this before, I've always sort of stood for feeling like I'm playing a game rather than playing a system. And when you add features like district swapping and stuff, I feel like I'm playing... We're not playing at all, you know, I'm just sort of manipulating the software in weird ways. Like, there's a line, and I feel like that's on that line. Do you know what I mean? Like, district swapping? Like, Path of Exile, when I was playing it was a good game, but you could clearly tell it was just, like, some software people had made, and many of the features were just raw convenience about... Like, it exists on another level, away from immersion, and away from exploration, and away from being interior. It's just... Oh, so, I don't know. I think maybe that's why they're not doing it in Guild Wars 2. And I can see why.
That reminds me about immersion, and I was helping up leveling a friend, and I just stopped. And I always do this when I'm leveling, and look at the world and how beautiful it looks. Like, it's like, man, I love this game. It just makes me just makes me think about how beautiful the design is when it comes out in the world and how it looks. It looks really nice. I have everything on high, so I don't know what everyone else is running on, but yeah.
You know what else they did that was in the patch notes that was not announced before it came out?
What?
A huge bug. Well, something that I looked over, with the way your camera works in the game. It used to be that your camera was at a certain height behind your character, just depending on race. So if I made a max size Norn and I zoomed in really far, I could barely play the game. Like, my Norn took up 90% of the screen's real estate. It was terrible, especially if you got flashy stuff. So you always had to zoom out, and you always zoomed out really far. The further out you zoom, the less immersive the game arguably is.
Yeah.
They've changed the camera now. The camera moves. It scales based on how you scaled your player as well. And so it's now all over the shoulder. I don't know if you've tried it yet, dude, but you have to. When you get in game, zoom your camera back in, maybe as far as you can go, and it's so playable. The game is super playable, and it looks so pretty and amazing now if you do it. I promise you. It's really cool.
I will.
Like, you get a proper third person. Oh my god.
Third person, really? Like over the shoulder, like Gears of War?
Yeah, like, you've got a slider in your options that can shift it left or right, and so if you shift it all on the right, yeah, it's like proper over-the-shoulder, real gameplay. Like, and instead of, like, always angling your camera down so that you can, like, see the terrain, like, you're actually looking forward and looking up at the sky. Oh, it's so good. I still wouldn't recommend it for, like, giant world events and dungeons. I think it's still hard to do, stuff like that. But if you're just walking about leveling a new character, which many people are... By the way, I'm leveling a Guardian very soon. I don't know whether I told you that yet.
Oh, really?
It's awesome. Yep, Guardian is the class I know least about, and I'm sick of it. So I am going to be playing a Guardian very soon. I'm going to make a Char Guardian.
I thought it was
like a member
boring.
of the Blood Legion.
Ooh.
Yeah, well, dude, Greatsword is boring. You admit this yourself. It's just rotations. You get used to it. It's just this, done.
Yeah, but
weapon swap. This, done. Weapon swap.
That's only Greatsword.
I know. That's all I ever said. That's all I ever said.
I like
Guardian
the
Greatsword
sword
is boring.
focus a lot.
Scepter focus, dude. It's badass. Well, I guess Scepter's not that interesting. Sword's pretty cool.
Scepter focus.
Scepter is the highest DPS you can do as a Guardian.
I don't like it. No, actually, I used it for a very long time, months and months and months. But I need to switch to it because, especially for War v World, because people are trying to kite me a lot. But I do have a lot of ways to get close up into their face. Be like, where you going? We ain't going nowhere. Yeah. Stupid thief, trying to run away from me.
I like how word versus word for you is just thieves. Just damn the thieves.
It's the only ones I have a problem with. It's like because they run away, dude. Oh, I did have a problem with the NG. I just couldn't beat this NG. Like, his build was just I don't know, just better than mine.
NGs have way too many options available to them. They are the best class, in my opinion, for stuff like that. Because they have everything available to them. An NG who uses his skills well and knows all of his options is going to do way better than anyone else who's, refined to a certain role.
Yeah.
Just plays around your weakness.
And it just makes me want to go back to NG again, but I was like, no. I like my Guardian. I'm going to keep my Guardian. I like the way.
Who is now a woman, by the way, right?
No, I switched back. That was just that one-time thing with all the 2,000 viewers were like voting. Like, okay, you're going to cut off the donger. And I'm like, no. And then I looked hot. I looked hot for a couple days, I gotta say.
When you made it into a woman, what did you do with the body type? Be honest.
Oh, I love a tall, big, juicy Norn. Come on now.
Did you pick the one that had the biggest boobs?
No, I just like the bigger figure, not the biggest boobs. I don't know if those go on. I like the bigger figure. Well, like what people call fat. I don't know what's wrong with you.
Guild Wars 2 doesn't let you make any fat characters.
Yeah,
come on.
Yeah, people call it fat. And I'm like, what is wrong with you people? You guys need to have better standards. Jeez. It's not fat at all. It's juicy. I like some meat on my bones.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ladies. Oh, hold up.
Let's wait to get to the larger demographic out there.
Mm-hmm. What? What?
The side.
Oh, yeah. The puns. The larger demographic. Oh, dude.
Thank you.
That was a good one. That was a good one. Oh my gosh.
Should copyright that.
I'm so proud that you're on this podcast now again.
You know, every now and then I make it worthwhile, right? Every now and then there's some huge, ridiculous wit that comes from me.
Amazing.
Do you want to talk about balance stuff?
Sure.
I really don't have that much to say.
I don't know much to say either. Well, I guess I could just run down. Okay, runes were buffed the more runes that you have. So, you know, Divinity, like I was talking about before, like Divinity. Set. Yeah, with the same set. So the Divinity will keep going up, and it's basically all stats, all the way through. You no longer see the crit damage, 2% crit damage on there, because of the ferocity. A lot of stuff were buffed. I thought it was cool. I'm switching. I'm trying to find a rune that I want, but I can't seem to do that. A lot of sigils were balanced as well. A lot of runes were changed. A lot of two-handed weapons have 2 sigils now, which is really good. So I've been using that on my great sword. Decided to put some force and accuracy on my great sword. Trying that out.
Yeah, accuracy got a bit better. Extra 2% on there, I believe.
Yeah, 7% for accuracy. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think it's pretty good that they buffed a lot of things. It makes and now that you can be even more powerful for the lower levels. It feels good to go back and just like burn through everything. It's very satisfying.
I made money at the day of the patch because of crate runes, which everyone was buying up like mad. Because they are, and I still think they're good. The price has gone back down, so if people are interested, it's a good time to buy again now. But they used to be really bad, and now they're actually pretty good. So like especially for if you're leveling. Or I think there may be better Condi sets out there, but at the end of the day, it's a Condi set, so it's never going to be, you know, super huge for a lot of PvEers. But that was something I did with runes. Strength runes as well are now a really popular choice for many people. Up to 10 gold each. Have you seen the price of Bloodlust sigils as well? No. Basically, what the patch did, alright, this is going to be complicated, but I'll see whether I can try and explain it to you. In the most simple way, because I haven't found a good way to do this, right? So, you know, before the patch, you could have a Bloodlust weapon, stack it to 25, and then swap the weapon completely, and you'd keep the 25?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then this patch came out, and they said, oh, you're not allowed to do that anymore. You unequip the weapon, and you lose the stacks, yeah? So this was going to be something that couldn't be done anymore, right? And this, in theory, should have plummeted the price of Bloodlust and Perception and stuff like that. However... Here's a trick that you can do to keep your stacks. You know, you have an underwater weapon always equipped. Even while you're on land, it's still technically equipped to your character, right?
Oh, snap.
If you put a second Bloodlust sigil on the underwater weapon, when you build the 25 above land and you swap off, the game detects you've still got Bloodlust equipped on your underwater weapon, and so you still don't lose the stacks. And so you can still do the trick. You can still stack to 25 entirely above land, stack to 25 and then swap your land weapon for another land weapon, and you will keep the stacks because the game still detects it on your underwater weapon, even though you've never used it. And so instead of the price of Bloodlust and accuracy and perception and all that stuff plummeting, it's gone way up because now you need double the amount of sigils than you ever did before. And there's all these players who have now got an extra sigil slot to play with. So the price has gone through the roof. It was like 13 gold for a single sigil of Bloodlust recently. Perception was much the same, and it's mad, right? People are spending all this money on these sigils, and it sounds like the kind of thing that might get patched in a while anyway. And then maybe the price will drop again very, very high. But that's a little trick you can do on your characters now. So
well, there you go. Wait, do you think they're gonna nerf that trick that you did with your legendary skin being more bright?
Oh, that's a crazy thing as well. I didn't know you'd watch that, man. It's pretty cool, right? Did you try it?
Yeah, I saw a couple people with double incinerators, which makes me want to get an incinerator now.
Yeah, but it might get nerfed. That's the thing. It's
I'm pretty sure it will.
Buy a legendary.
I'm pretty sure. People want to argue with me, but come on. They nerfed
that thing
drop.
Is ridiculous. If your only base of comparison is my video, you haven't seen anything. Like a char, a giant max scale char on Norn, dual wielding incinerators with that effect is the most obnoxious thing ever. Frostfang is completely broken. It turns you into a walking blizzard.
What?
Why wouldn't they patch that? They have to patch it. It's gonna get, and it's a shame because there's actually loads of cool tricks. And when I did that video, there was a Reddit thread
hammer?
The legendary hammer, Colossus.
Yeah.
I don't know actually. I don't know what that looks like.
Because it changes your armor, doesn't it? So what would happen?
Yeah, like make you a giant. I don't know. That's so weird. But like, it works for not just legendary stuff too. When I did the video, there was a post on Reddit where people were saying, hey, what do other weapons look like? It does work for basically anything that glows. I heard the anomaly, which is one of the focuses, like the purpley focus. Apparently that thing like turns into this giant like orb craziness stuff. It's just phenomenal, and it's actually kind of a fun little thing to do in the game. It's just a shame that it's stuck on Ascalon Catacombs weapon. Instead of nerfing it outright, which is I'm sure what the devs will do because it's the easy route, I would like to see them take it a bit further, nerf the big offenders, and then maybe expand being able to acquire this in some other way. Maybe make it like an official part of the game. You know, you know how we go for legendaries? What if after you go for a legendary, there's another insanely crazy item that you can go for that allows you to upgrade your currently glowing weapon to an even more glowy weapon, you know?
Absolutely.
And that would be like another bit of progression they give in the game, you know?
Yeah, we've mentioned this. More stuff to go for after you get that legendary to make it even better.
More shiny.
More shiny. Shiny is always good. We're all scrits here. Come on now.
I had some crazy comments from people who were being like, I can't believe this. This is ridiculous. Why can't people be... I think one person, and if you're listening, then this is fine. I'm very amused by people who say, why can't everyone just be nice and reserved and have nice dye schemes and be happy with that? And it's like, you're playing an MMO. Come on, think about the demographic of the people. These are all kids and, you know, even some adults. Most adults love to be big and shiny. Like, not everyone has this very reserved view on the way that the game should look, and you can't force that on everyone. You can't force your aesthetic belief in what everyone should look like onto the entire community. People like shinies, and they're gonna do this kind of stuff.
It's all about the shinies. It's always been about the shinies. It's called progression. It's called looking awesome, looking the way you want to look. Who? See, that's why I can't get into a game where like the animations for the characters are really wonky and they look. I don't want to look my character human to walk the same as a Khajiit or whatever it is, a cat person, Khajiit, and or any of those type of things. Like a different race should walk differently, and that's kind of what drawn me to Guild Wars 2 in the first place. The Azura like little creatures that can jump around. It always made me think about Mickey Mouse with a Keyblade in Kingdom Hearts 2. Yeah, okay. Yeah, like that's cool stuff. You gotta have that. You gotta have that feeling where you're unique than everyone else.
Yeah, I can totally appreciate. Like, there is a valid point there where it's like, all right, yeah, shiny is cool, but not if everyone's shiny. You know, like shiny should be just for a few, and that's a very valid argument. But also, as games get older, obviously people are going to keep working for this stuff. You know. And after a while, I think GW1 did quite well. I bang on about that game so much, but I think it did do quite well. Many of the skins were really reserved and not flashy for a long time. And so when finally flashy stuff did start coming out, it was kind of a rare thing to see someone be super flashy.
Like
and
glowing gloves.
Yeah, right? And like the Tormented Shield, these were all really late things. You know, the hardest armor to get, the really prestigious stuff in Guild Wars 1 was like quite refined and not that aesthetically pleasing to look at, but people liked it because it was, it was just a symbol of how much money you had, basically. So I can sort of see where people are coming from, but this check is cool, and I'd like to see it be incorporated into regular gameplay rather than just nerfed and killed instantly, which I'm sure it will be. What else is there to talk about? I got a PSA bong. Do you want to do one?
All right. Bong, 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 bong.
Where's Matt? Where's the enthusiasm for the bong?
Bong! Woo! Hey! Let's do it. Yeah.
Yeah. So one thing for people who have double legendaries, I did a question on my Q&A that was kind of dumb. If you've got like say 2 incinerators, the devs have stated you can contact support and they will refund you completely for the second legendary you have, perhaps even replacing it with a new one, which is pretty crazy. I heard about
what?
Yeah, I heard about someone who swapped their second incinerator in for a Frostfang.
What?
Yeah. I think support's actually quite generous. Another thing, if you've ever bought multiple sets of a gem store armor, for example, at launch, I bought a set of profane armor, deleted it a few months later, and then way later than that, bought it again for PvP. If you are in that situation, you can submit a ticket to support and say, yo, I've doubled up before, and they'll reimburse you your gems too. So you may have a lot of gems just by going to contact support, and they're being really generous.
Wow.
See, useful. Do you want a useless one?
Wow.
Okay,
Wow.
bong. There, a couple of days ago, you could have got a revive orb for free on the Black Lion. It was really cool. If you didn't get one, then there you go.
Well, you know, if you're dying, you're a noob.
Oh yeah, players shouldn't be dying in Guild Wars 2. What newbies?
Man, such
nooblets.
Such a noob item.
What is a noob item? Do you know what a noob item was to buy on the gem store? Glory boosters. What a waste of money. Oh my god. Even at launch, that was an incredible waste of money.
Oh my gosh. But you get them for free though, so what's the point?
I know.
I still have a stack of those things.
So bad. Oh, do you still have a stack, or did they delete them? I think they probably just deleted them from me.
Probably deleted, because it was
deleted
in my PvP locker, so
yeah, so it's gone kaput. They deleted most PvP items except free tournament tokens, baby, and I've got some of them, which is awesome. So I've got like these legacy items now in my bank. And I'm like, yeah, I can ping these to people, and they'll be like, in 2 years, they'll be like, what's this? What is this weird item? I'll be like, it's a new feature coming out. Stay tuned.
Well, there you go. Also, Legendaries, World v World XP, and Ascended Armor is now account bound. I think we've mentioned all that through the talking, didn't we?
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit. Well, there you go. Official announcement. First here,
first. This is official. Official stamp of VisualWood.
Boom. I don't know what that stamp would look like, but there you go.
Fan arts. Boo, boo, boo. Dude, I got so much fan art lately. I need to show it off in a video.
Yeah, dude. A lot of fan art. You guys are amazing. You guys who draw, oh my gosh. Jeez.
Someone, oh, that's the sound of my Twitter as I'm looking for fan art here. Someone sent me, you saw the fan art where I was riding on your shoulders? My Asura was riding on your shoulders?
Yeah.
I liked it. It was good. I've got a hole to pick in it though. Should I do it?
All right. Go ahead.
Would this be distasteful? The hole to pick, okay? Nothing big. Is and maybe this isn't, I don't know, maybe I doubt myself slightly. Anyway, the dialogue on it had me as an Asura calling you as a Norn at Booker, and I believe that's sort of incorrect since you're a Norn, not a human, and Booker was, maybe it's changed. Maybe Asura would call Norn Bookers now, and Char and stuff. What do you think?
I think so.
Okay, so maybe it's good. Maybe it's perfect. It's perfect, and I love you for it.
It's perfect.
Thank
yes,
you so much.
Yes, it is. Thank you for drawing it. It's amazing. So much fan art. It's gotten to the point where I can't showcase each one. So at this VisualWood, I'm going to showcase one, and then the next one I'm going to keep showcasing. I'm going to just keep putting them up there and then putting in a description.
Why don't you go to like a professional printing place, spend a lot of your hard-earned money, and print them all out, and then frame them, put them in the background on your videos. Boom!
Oh my gosh. My mind has just been blown. Dude, I got to do that.
I would totally do that. If only to hide like the ugly-looking cracks through the wall in the room.
In the attic.
No, not in the attic. I'm in a regular room. It's just a small room, and sometimes stuffy room as summer comes around. I think that's why you think it's the attic, because in summer I was complaining so much about how hot it was. You know?
Yeah, you're just right there under the roof, getting beamed by the sun.
Yeah.
In your little circle window.
It's actually the middle of the day.
Playing ball.
I wish I could
play ball.
I sit with my curtains closed and basically in the dark with artificial light, even in the middle of the day.
Jeez.
How miserable does that sound?
Not that much. Not that much. I don't think so. I'm in my little corner as well with artificial light with my softbox that I use for the green screen, just on me. And sometimes I'm in here like all day. So there you go.
Dude, it's because isn't real light the worst?
No.
The sun. Go away, sun.
When you go outside, when it's through the window, it's fine. But when you go outside, you're like, dang, it's kind of bright out here. And your eyes need to adjust.
Yeah. Like, what is this?
Yeah, because I get out of the house at least every week. But I get out of the house a lot. For like going shopping and stuff like that. But I
have no
really
doubt
have
that you
friends.
get out more than I do.
Yeah. I don't really have friends that I just like go and hang out. It's a blue moon that my best friend comes over and we do some stuff. But that's pretty much it. Most of the time I'm spending inside of a room of some kind. Anyways, let's stop going into
Oh,
depressing
that
again.
reminds me. What would you rather lose, your legs or your hands?
What the hell?
Well, I was listening to last week's VisualWood, and I didn't like the way I phrased my question to you. You know, the wallet or the glasses or the passport kind of thing, or the shoes. So this is my new question: as a gamer, legs or hands?
Legs. My legs are useless regardless, dude, because of what I got. So it doesn't even matter. I'd rather have my hands so I can actually play. It would suck that I won't be able to, play sports anymore.
If you had the choice, if it was like, okay, there's 4 things, right? 2 hands, 2 feet, and you have to get rid of 2 of them. Would you like mix and match?
No.
Keep a hand and keep a foot?
No. I think I'll get I'll get one of those mechanical foots and slot them in and walk around, because it's just the foot. It's not the leg, right? It's just the foot.
No. Okay, the whole leg.
Hey, you can't switch up the rules. What is this?
Well, you're in like a frozen place and you got to feed people with your meaty leg.
Oh my gosh. Oh, the picture of that. That's not getting out of my head anytime soon. No, I don't like this question anymore. Okay. The whole leg? Like all the way up to your leg. All the way up to like the balls.
Someone cutting it off would see your junk. And they'd be like, I'm washing that bit of the thigh before I eat it. And you'd have to shave it as well, I guess. As a man's leg, you'd want to shave it. You don't want to be eating hair.
I'll cut off their legs before they cut off mine. I'll tell you that.
Whoa! I just had like a picture of you backing into a corner with like a knife in your hand. You're going down before me.
It'll be like that scene in Watchmen. Said, you think I'm stuck in here with you, but you're stuck in here with me.
Oh, and what a great scene.
Yeah, it was. I just blushed and got goosebumps when I was in the theaters with that. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. That's like one of those really badass lines that you rarely see.
Yeah. I need to watch that again, but I don't want to see the blue man's junk again all up in my face.
It's a little late in the podcast, but I did want to do this and screw it because I've just noticed the internet tab's open. I wanted to do a riddle. Do you want to do one before questions and reveal the answer at the end?
All right, let's do it.
All right, do you want to do one yourself as well, just before?
No, you go ahead. It's your thing.
But the fun thing is seeing if you figure them out because you're usually quite good at them as well.
All right. No, I'm not. All right, I'll toss one right now and go ahead.
Okay. You use a knife to slice my head and weep beside me when I am dead. What am I?
Slice your head?
All right, I'll give you 2, right? You have to answer one and the audience answers the other one. That's good. That's like a system.
Which one is mine?
Right, the other one, well, you get to pick. That's the thing.
Okay.
All right, you have to answer that. Or, a certain crime is punishable if attempted, but not punishable if committed. What is it?
Say it again, one more time.
A crime that is punishable if attempted, but not punishable if committed. What is it? What crime can you punish someone for trying to do, but you can't punish them if they manage to do it?
Man, I'll try that one as mine.
All right, do you want to try it at the end?
Yeah, I'll try it at the end. Holy crap.
Okay, so the audience has to answer. You use a knife to slice my head and weep beside me when I'm dead.
Oh my gosh.
Don't Google it. And that goes to people at home as well.
For now. Let's stick with those 2 for now. I'll do mine's next podcast. All right, first question.
1C7 says 2 things. The homeless guy who finds a girl movie. Oh yeah, I remember we were talking about this. Sounds sort of like The Lover's Bridge, 1991. And the term WP was looking for when talking about accents was code switching. I read this comment. I've got to be honest with you. I don't think code switching was the linguistic term I was taught. But I appreciate that these things are all relative anyway. A question. What titles do you guys have on most of the time? Oh, titles. I was thinking like films for some reason, like titular feature films and stuff. Titles. Well, I know I've got a great answer to this question.
Oh yeah.
I want to hear yours though first. I'm gonna keep a suspense. What do you have?
The suspense. I have The Volunteer.
Oh no! Don't say that.
No. I've been there and done that. Is the one I have.
Okay. You value that over the other ones you've got?
I don't really look at them much, to be honest. I just like the way that one sounds, and I kept that one.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Why did you say volunteer just now?
because that was a crappy title that I used to have. I was like, oh, the volunteer. That's back then with the living story. And I was like, oh, this is cool. And then I switched it back to what I normally had. But yeah.
Outrageous.
Uh-huh.
The title I rep all the time on all my characters is volunteer. It genuinely is. No word of a lie.
Are you serious?
No, I'm 100% serious. And I do it because it's a crappy title from the living world. Volunteer, if people don't know, was the title you got for fixing signs on the very first Flame and Frost update. It was like the easiest title to get, and is actually one that people can't get anymore. It's the crappiest, most ridiculous title in Guild Wars 2. And so I get, like, the patch happened, and they're like, hey, have all these amazing titles that used to be all prestigious in PvP. Reaper, have legendary PvP, blah, blah, blah. And I got unlocked all these titles, and I'm like, meh. Not interested in any. I think the title system's kind of rubbish at the moment. And my little sarcastic, lame way of revolting against it is to only rep volunteer on all my characters.
Excellent.
Yeah, so there you go. That's what I do. I think it's quite creative.
Yeah, you're good, man. You're good.
Thank you.
Yeah, I repped it for a little bit as well. I'm trying to figure out.
My man.
Huh? What?
Never mind. Yeah. No, it's
what
good.
was that?
No, it was me doing a terrible imitation. Never mind. Moving on. Willow Smiley says, apparently I did say semen last podcast, randomly. This is actually a bit of a conspiracy theory. People might not realise. You'd have to listen to many of the podcasts to catch it. But I actually say semen once a month on the podcast. And I slip it in there. 1 out of every 4, you will hear that word. We're well over quota for this month, of course. But yeah. Second, I have a question for both of you. What's your favourite song currently? I recently heard Mickey Echo's Who Are You Really from a Blacklist episode, and I love it.
Come with me and you'll see. Yeah, that's my Pure Imagination by Willy Wonka.
World of pure imagination.
Yep, that's my favorite song right now. Like literally every day. Love that song.
I've been listening to, oh my god, who the hell are they? Why did their name escape me? Oh, I've been listening to loads of Churches lately, I guess. I've been listening to mixes lately. Dude, mixes are cool. I've never been into them that much. Mixes are the kind of thing that I would always expect someone super enthusiastic about music to be into. I've never really thought I was that kind of person. Here's something weird, right? How often do you listen to music while you're doing your job? Or you're at the computer, I guess.
All day, every day.
See, here's the weird thing, right? As I was growing up in school and stuff, I've always appreciated music.
Right.
But I never considered myself to be like, I was never a guy in a band, for example. I never played instruments of my own that much. So I never really associated myself as that kind of person. But, right, you think about all those people you used to know who were super, super, super into music, right? Let's say they have bog standard 9-to-5 office jobs, or, generic lives now, yeah?
Right.
How often do you think and maybe they're in a workplace where they don't get to listen to their iPod and stuff. It's kind of weird, actually, in the position we're in, where we listen to music pretty much all day, every day, we actually might be way more into music. Do you know what I mean? You listen to it a lot more than maybe your average person now, even though I'd never consider myself to be... Is this weird? Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. I think if it allows it, I think a lot of people even listen to streams while they're working. I don't even understand how that is even possible, but I think a lot of people do listen to their music. But yeah, I could totally see what you're saying. It's weird that we're just listening because we want something in the background while we're doing stuff, but it's crazy how much music we go through during a day.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So I
hate
totally see that.
I keep going back to the same old music all the time, and it really annoys me. It really annoys. Oh, am I listening to this band again? Why are my tastes not more broad? Oh my god, I'm always listening to the same band. I must have heard this song a million times. And you're overwriting all these precious memories you had as a teenager listening to the band, sat there, listen to it then. But yeah, lately I've been listening to Churches a lot. Disney. Oh man.
Uh-oh. It's gonna start up again. Let it go, let it go.
Well, no, I listened to the outtakes from that movie. There's one that's like, but you and me, we know better. Oh my god, beautiful. I think I've done that on the podcast before.
Would you like to have a body? It doesn't have to be a one piece.
I don't like parody songs.
Yeah, parodies
are they're not serious. Weird Al can go to hell. These are terrible songs. You shouldn't. It's plagiarism. It's copyright.
I still listen. You know, my wife listened to Going Through the Drive-Thru way before she listened to the actual R. Kelly song. Probably many of you are in the same situation as well. But yeah,
okay.
Yeah, you ever heard of Trapped in the Closet?
And it's like ridiculous. It's like hours long.
Yeah. It's crazy. It gets so convoluted later on, but still, it's cool stuff. Cool stuff.
Sean Lane asks if you could have any creature in Guild Wars as a pet in real life. These are the best. What would it be, and what would a typical day with your pet be like? I call Oakheart because epic mobile tree houses littering the skyline.
A Doyak. That would be tasty.
Didn't we do this? Didn't we talk about having like Loopy as a pet and stuff?
Oh, hold up. We did talk about having a Scrit and stuff as a pet as well.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, I think it was a race. I think it was a race that we talked about, not an actual pet. So we have to pick monsters, I guess, this time around.
What about
We're
like
changing
ranger
the game? Huh?
What about like ranger pets?
Ranger? Oh yeah. That's a pet. Have a big bear as a pet. Bear bow.
Did I tell you I saw this guy online who used to put up YouTube videos of him... he like lived in Brazil or something, and he used to put up YouTube videos of him swimming with his pet alligator. An alligator that he had like... Oh no, it was a hippo. It was a hippo. And there was a hippo he'd like helped grow up since he was little. Yeah, right? And now you see like all these other people online who are like... it comes up all the time. It's like, yeah, look, I just hang out with these lions, yeah? They're lions. I know,
that guy died too.
I've grown up since my life. And then it's like, every one of these people, there's some tragic news story at some point where it's like, oh, this wild animal finally went feral on your ass and killed you? I have no sympathy. And it's always weird to see that kind of thing. So to bring that to this question,
yeah,
Sean Lane I don't know, an oak cart is pretty big and dangerous, right? Can you reason with an oak cart? You think an oak cart is domesticated and then bang! It's just, what do oak carts do?
Your legs are gone. People?
Yeah, your legs are gone. So I think this is too dangerous and too serious of a topic to broach. So
you wouldn't mind having a bear?
I would have a Crichton Drake Hound. I think that's an appropriate pet.
Right. A rock dog would be pretty cool.
No, too much like a wolf. I ain't no centaur. I haven't learned how to domesticate those.
Dude, I want to have a centaur. Are there girl centaurs in Guild Wars 2?
Yeah, huh? Yeah.
Really? I never seen. Do they like? Are they like Char, where like there's no like female features on them?
No, there are Whoa! Don't say that about Char. Don't.
What?
That's just gonna make people cry.
What?
People applaud the Char in Guild Wars 2 because they are so good at portraying the females as feminine without just slapping boobs and makeup on them.
No. I'm asking. I'm not saying it's bad. It's the same thing as Azura. I like the Azura as well because of that.
Well, no, the Asura are basically just given boobs and makeup, and so the Centaur.
There's no boobs on the Azura.
That's true. There aren't any boobs on the Asura.
They just cover
and
the area.
There are different features. You're right. Okay, so, you are completely right. You are.
All right. So do
Centaurs,
they have features?
Centaur, yes. Do centaurs have boobs? Yes. That's the main difference. They just give them boobs and long hair and no makeup because you're not meant to.
I guess I do remember hearing a manly-ish female voice while I'm attacking the centaur.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a picture somewhere. I've got a really clear image in my head of... see, this is the kind of fan art that the underground fan art in Guild Wars 2.
You want to be drawn as a centaur.
There you go, a female centaur concept art.
You want to be drawn as a female centaur. Wow.
I want a picture of Liz riding on a female centaur. It's got like the warm lighting.
Fan art has to be created.
It has to come from the heart. Is it art if it was made to order?
Give it to the heart. I'm pretty sure that's not how the song comes from.
Oh no, what? No, now you're making me think. What? Listen to your heart.
Listen to your heart. There it is. Listen
It
to
is something for you. Yeah, I don't know the lyrics or anything about the song.
Oh, I'm going off track now. All right, yeah.
That's a good song. Oh, I've been listening to Alive by Celine Dion.
Oh,
That's
gosh.
a good song as well. I'm alive. Oh, great. Great stuff. Next question is from Jacob Young, who says, hey, MV and WP. What are your thoughts on the Black... Oh, yeah, I was going to talk to you about this, dude. What are your thoughts on Black Desert, the Korean MMO that's coming out? Have you seen IP Man starring Don Yen? One of the best martial art movies ever.
Of course I have.
I've never seen this or heard of it.
Dude, you have to watch that. How do you not, watch those weird, like, outside of U.S. films? That's where you get the true action, is outside of U.S. Forget all this, this crap that we have here. There's no good action films here. Man, when you go to, like, you get Donnie Yen, you get Tony Zhao. Oh, my gosh, so good. Man, these French fighting movies, oh my God. I remember watching this film. It was ridiculous. I gotta find it now. It like crazy stuff. I still haven't watched The Raid 2. Have you watched The Raid 2 yet? No?
No, I don't really care about fighting, to be honest. So
what? You break my heart, man.
I'm sorry.
You break my heart.
Listen to your heart.
Well, all right. So, the first question. What do you think?
I have a friend who he's sort of come back to Guild Wars 2 a little bit lately, but he was really into Black Desert Online. I've actually been following this for a while, not super serious, but watching trailers and been linked to it and stuff. They did a new trailer that came out recently on Black Desert that looked really interesting. Just it was like themed about different ways you can interact with the world, and it was like, oh, here's how you get on a horse to ride it. Here's how you tame a horse. And like, there's a full-on mini game where you have to, and it's nothing super in depth, but where you've actually got to wrangle the horse down. We're talking about wrangling again, by the way, and like get it to. There's so much stuff. It looked really good. Graphically, I think the game's always been stunning. But I also think
very,
yeah, really like the view distance and the environments on Black Desert are incredibly realistic. Like, it's not stylized like Guild Wars 2 or like WildStar or even ESO. I would say like it's just the scope and the vastness of the landscapes and the way that they've done it with the art. It looks really, really realistic. And you see like their version of World versus World and Siege and Battlegrounds and stuff like that. It's real players in massive forts and forming defensive lines and stuff. Whether the gameplay will eventually reflect what the trailers show, though, is the big question,
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
It's like a real life anime look to it.
Right.
The characters look perfect. Like now the girls look absolutely beautiful, but like even the guys look
beautiful.
They look good, dude. I finally like a good MMO that really knows how to do hairstyles and guys really, really good. Really good, dude.
And it's got my attention, but
it's a Korean MMO, and you know what that entails. You know what's gonna happen with that. I'm definitely gonna try it because I like trying out stuff, and I want to try out Archage, but I do not like the combat. I'm looking at the combat in Archage, and I'm like, this ain't for me. At least, Black Desert has like that action combat, which I'm into. I have to have action combat.
Yeah, one thing that's nice about Black Desert, at least that I think may have going for it. And for many games, this would seem like a red flag, but it's been in development for a long time. And to me, that says they're not trying to rush anything out. And that also says to me that it should be quite feature complete when it finally comes out. Instead of other, bad examples where stuff is clearly botched and just a catastrophe. At the end, it's another MMO. It's a big thing to step into. I doubt I'll be looking at it around launch, but it is the kind of game. If it ends up representing anything like that trailer, that new trailer they put out is, I think that's really exciting and cool to see. And hey, we'll see how it goes.
Definitely.
So the next question is from William Botsford, who says, "WP, how much do you know Matt's wife? P.S. Not you, his other wife." What are you looking for? Like a compilation of information I know about Marjorie?
No. It was just a fun question I just copied in there.
Well, yeah,
the whole part with you being my
Facebook.
wife, because you are my wife right here in this podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Well, how would she feel about that?
But she doesn't listen to the podcast, so I can say whatever I want here.
I'm like your piece on the side, or she's your piece on the side?
Ooh, let's not get into the specifics.
No, I need specifics. There's always that moment when you're like doing it with someone who's otherwise taken, and you're like, okay, look, this is getting pretty awkward now. I think I'm falling in love. Let's talk serious right now, and you have to make a choice. It always comes to that. Every movie, every real-world situation, someone ends up getting hurt.
So next question.
Well, hold on. I think this is
the question.
Yeah, it was skillfully done as well. You know, other like developers, when they're asked a question about something they don't really want to talk about or have the answer to, they waffle on about stuff that clearly has no relevance. You're just straight through it. You're like, no, moving on. Boom. I wish developers...
All right, I could do the Colin Johansson and just give you the awkward stare.
Yeah. Well, even that, I wish you'd just be like, Cantha, shut up, move on. Move on. Next question. Wait, but you haven't answered a single question I've asked. That's because they're all stupid and never happening. Next. I bet people in those situations wish they could do that.
Are you nerfing warriors?
Yeah, right, yeah. All right, so the next question is from Seth King, who says, hey, Matt and WB, I'm a hardcore PvPer. I actually think I recognise that name, maybe? I don't know. And I was one of the people that got bumped up to rank 80, which I'm mad about, but I can't do anything. Well, you can make a new account if you want the experience of leveling up again. It's PvP, it doesn't matter. However, I am more mad at the fact that they can give you all PvP ranks and give you the titles. I wish that they would have given people rank 80, but left the achievements that went along with it, so that there's something to go for long term. I also think it's a shame that titles mean nothing now. I don't know about you, but when I saw Ravager or Reaper, I thought, holy poop, and now that wow factor is gone. What, both your thoughts? I think I'm very much in the same camp as you. I used to love Reaper. Dude, seeing a Reaper? What the hell was that? And it was a cool sounding title to boot. Jeez. What a great element of PvP that was.
So how were you able to get this? Through achievements? And what were the achievements about to get Reaper?
Ridiculous amounts of game time in PvP. Unbelievable amounts. It was like, you know how no one had ever got to rank 80?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Before the patch, it was like somewhere every 10 ranks at those later levels you might get a new title, but it was set that even if you got to rank 80, some of these titles would still be way off in the distance for you and miles away to complete, even as a rank 80, which no one in the entire community managed to get. So they were titles that if you got them early, like, it was crazy to see some of them. I remember when the first Ravagers started coming out, and it was crazy. And you still get, I used to get a little bit of that. I was a Shark, and when I finally got to Shark, I was in the upper end, absolutely, but there were many people who had passed that before me. But I would go to World vs. World repping those titles or stomping people with a Shark finish, and you'd get that cool, wow, this is amazing. Look at this. That's all been gone, and this guy asking this question is totally right. It's a real shame. But what else can they do? I think the people in the defense for it, and this is a fact I neglect quite a lot, is they don't want that to be the long-term stuff anymore. They want it all to be with their new leaderboard kind of system, you know, with the PvP seasons going on, which isn't fully implemented, but maybe once that is, and the new ladders are in, that's where this cool stuff will be. That's when you'll see the equivalent of a Reaper, and it's like, oh my god, this is someone who's actively PvPing and is at the max, because there's only 5 people in the whole world who have the title or something, you know? And that's where maybe they're trying to make up for it.
I mean, we come full circle with, like, the amount of time that you put into the game. You kind of want the equivalent as a reward. And, you know, and that's how it... So you spend most of your time, and then you get a word equivalent towards that. And I think that's sad that everything is just, like, if you were working towards that title, and now everyone just gets it, it's kind of like man, sad face.
Remember, not everyone gets it, but the vast majority of people get it, and everyone gets it easily now. And that's the sad thing about it. It's weird that, you know, changes like that, the change to the worm, there were original statements with Guild Wars 2 that said, hey, this game will cater to hardcore audiences. And it just doesn't. Like, World vs. World still has those ridiculous achievements that are there. But, you know, you can expect those to get nerfed at any point. And, you know, all the really high, interesting stuff that was in the game, as little as of it that was there, it's just getting taken out and taken out and taken out and taken out. And it saddens me. I can see why it happens, and there's many more people playing the game now, and they're the majority, so you can't really foo-foo it too much. But It's not an audience they cater to.
Right.
Next question, and the final question. Do you know what? That was brilliant. To me, my impression of you going to get that was like, you know, The Simpsons, Selma and Patty working at the DMV.
Yeah.
And they just like hate everything about what they do, and they're just bored, and it's just complete routine. That's exactly how you ringing the bell was. It was like, oh, last question. All right, move over, grab it. Like, ring.
Next question. There goes the enthusiasm. Yeah.
That's so good.
Are you ready?
It's from Tippertop. So congratulations to you, Tippertop.
Tippertop?
Who says, what was you guys' first favourite part of the personal story? Is there any particular quest you liked? Which race do you think has the best early personal story? Great questions. I think I haven't done it recently enough to have a really amazing answer where I can be like, yeah, this bit was insane. I remember a lot of the human stuff was good, and actually I appreciated a lot of the child stuff when I finally went through and did it again myself too. I think Norn was the worst. I can point that to you. That I don't think any of the Norn stuff was interesting to me at all.
Aww.
Sorry, I mean, what did you think of Norn personal story?
Pretty meh. I think I like the Savari one the most when it comes down to the early stuff. When you're helping the girl with that mirror that goes inside of that like alternate dimension and stuff, like I thought that was really cool. Really cool. So I like the Savari for my early ones. And for like the personal story in general, I think probably the best moment and the worst moment was the Ara dungeon story mode. When I first played it, I was like, wow, this is a really cool dungeon. You're in an airship, you're fighting dragons, and all this stuff is going on. And then, of course, you hit, Zaitan. But, yeah, like, I thought that experience was really, really cool. I didn't really enjoy the personal story too much. Other than that, I thought it was okay. There were certain moments and stuff, but, yeah, it was really mad, like, from what I can remember anyway.
I'll tell you what, actually, I think the best moment of the personal story was just, and I know so many people disliked it when it happened, but when Traherne really came forward and it sort of set up, wow, now you are going for the Elder Dragon kind of thing, there's a moment that every single character takes place in the entire personal story, everyone does it, and it's where you go and have the vision of the final battle in Ore with the Pale Tree, and do you remember? And it's like all golden and glowing.
That was really cool.
I actually really enjoyed that personal story step. It was early enough in the personal story before I got jaded with it all and realized just how bad it was and how thin and vain it all was. But it was also expressed, like, because it tapped into so much of the Guild Wars 1 story too, like, it fully explained everything that happened in Ore with the Vizier and all that stuff, but despite a bit of disappointment in how bland and rubbish Ore itself looked, I really enjoyed that personal story. It tied into all the stuff with the Pact there was elements of the story with Destiny's Edge there, it was dragging up all the histories of the past, it had stuff to do with Traherne and the Sylvari, like, it was all really good, and I really do remember seeing that vision and thinking, damn, that was cool. And then it sort of fell apart after that to me. But yeah.
All right. Is that it?
All right. See ya. Bye. There you go. VisualWood is over.
See you later.
Wait.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, I know we had you tricked that was the end of the podcast, but we do have the riddles.
Oh, gosh. Okay. So what was mine?
So, well, no, you got to pick. Which one did you want?
The crime one.
Okay. I'll read it out one final time, and you got to get a guess. Any stab in the dark, okay?
Okay.
A crime that is punishable if attempted, but not punishable if committed, if you succeed at it. What is it?
All right, so let me dissect this in my head. A crime that is punishable if attempted.
So, for example, you are growing weed in your house.
Right. For you not to get punished if you complete it, you would have to be not there or something.
Mm-hmm.
So suicide.
You've Googled it.
Suicide.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, that's suicide.
Committed.
That's the answer.
So hold up. You get You seriously, like, if you
attempting suicide is illegal, and you can be punished for it. Yes, it's illegal to attempt suicide. But if you manage to commit suicide, how can they punish you?
Wow, I never thought.
You really just figured that out?
Yeah.
Well done, man. That's good. I don't think I could have really got that.
Yeah, that was a weird one.
Your logic worked out very well.
I was just trying to, because you wouldn't have to be like, I mean, there's no other way, unless you're trying to go into like the fugitive area. You know.
Time travel is illegal, but if you succeed at time travel, you just go back in the past and stop it ever being illegal in the first place.
Yeah, see, that's the way my mind works.
Vote against Proposition 3.0, time travel restrictions.
Well, there you go. So, what was the slicing head thing? I'm thinking fruits for some reason when that comes down to that.
You use a knife to slice my head and weep beside me when I'm dead. What am I?
A fruit.
The answer is an onion.
Oh, so that's where the weeping goes. Oh, yeah. Oh, snap.
It's basically a joke, but there you go.
I thought the weeping was like, oh, I'm finished with my orange. Oh, it's all done. You know, I thought that's what.
Wow, you really like oranges.
Oranges.
What's
are
a
good.
tangine?
Tangerine.
Not tangerine, just tangine.
Never heard of that one.
Yeah, it's like this weird.
Is a smaller orange?
It's an Arabic. Dish from North Africa.
Where is this coming from? Did you just have
Wikipedia.
This at your girlfriend's house?
I just googled it. You can get electrical tangine if you like.
Because you just came from your girlfriend's house, right?
And we had electrical tangine.
Delicious.
There you go. Lamb, prunes, and almonds.
So you're dating an African woman?
Lamb with plum and eggs.
Don't just ignore me.
Tangine with olives and vegetables. No, we were just worldly people. Worldly people.
Yeah?
Tangine with carrots.
Once you go African, you don't go back.
Hell yeah.
Anyways, guys, thank you for enjoying the podcast. I mean, obviously you enjoyed the podcast.
That's a bit presumptuous. Oh, wow. That's quite presumptuous, isn't it?
It is. Don't here it is. Don't forget to like us no, not like us. Don't forget to follow us on SoundCloud and leave a review on iTunes and subscribe to us on iTunes. There you go. So we can go up the charts. We could be number one. We could be number one. Yeah, we actually do mean that.
Tell all your friends. Seriously, do it.
Yeah.
Do it. We're going to start doing that thing. You know, like struggling small YouTube channels where they're like, I'm not going to upload another video unless I get 500 likes.
Oh my gosh.
No more VisualWood unless we get... I don't even know what a good ballpark would be.
100 reviews.
100 full-on reviews?
On iTunes. 100. It's easy.
Can they be 1-star reviews?
No. 5 stars.
Wow. Buying publicity here.
Yes, that's right. Well, okay. Well, you can be honest. Well, sure. You know, be honest, but put 5 stars.
Not enough GW2 discussion. 1 star.
Dude,
boom.
We talked a lot about GW2 this round.
We were just talking about tangines. Where's this coming from?
Listen. Anyways, guys, stay visual.
Ridlock has no pants.
Yeah.